Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Waypoint podcast. Today, I am joined by AlBob875. How are you doing?
Doing good today. Lions haven't
Awesome.
played yet, so I'm still okay.
You love to see it. You love to see it. Got Jordan Deeb on the panel.
What's up, everybody?
Rumble Pack 92.
Yo.
And your so-called host, Austin.
That's me. Hello. Hi.
Josh, I think you're the so-called host today.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
That I might be.
for sure.
That I might be the so-called host.
I'll just give you my title.
Some other Josh.
For no reason.
You'll be some
Exactly.
other Austin.
We're
Hey.
We got a fun episode for y'all today. We're going to
Let's
go
go.
over the results of our Game Awards predictions, as well as talk about all the insane news we got during that Disney investor call.
Going on
Like-
at the same time.
It was,
Right?
I was gonna say, it was unfair that it happened like back to back.
And
Simultaneous.
Cyberpunk.
Not even. They were
Edition.
having it at the same time because I was getting a
Mhm.
string of texts from my friend. I was just like, I have to respond to this later. Like I didn't watch all the trailers till after the Game Awards.
Same.
There was a little crossover during, but the investor call started before the Game
Yeah,
Awards.
it did. It started before.
But it's like all the Marvel stuff started coming out like after the Game Awards started.
Mhm.
Right.
Star Wars
And the
was
Star
finished
Wars
right
was
before.
like right before, and so I was getting ready to watch the Game Awards, and my phone was just blowing up because people kept texting me like, "Did you see this? Did you hear about this?" I'm like, "What?" It was a hell of a day.
And Cyberpunk launched that day too.
Mhm.
Hell of a day.
Hell of a day indeed.
Yeah.
All right. So, do we want to find out who's won the Game Awards predictions?
Let's
Let's
go.
do it. I'm excited. I'm ready.
Sure.
I'm here for it.
All right. So, first up, Bob, you have a total of 16 points scored between all categories.
Cool.
Austin, you have a total of 20, 19 in the main, and one prediction for that Microsoft team showing up there. With
Oh, the initiative.
The initiative showed up, started the show off with the Perfect Dark announcement.
Damn, it's so cool.
Right?
So cool.
Chris, another 16. Some bold picks, but they paid off for you for sure. Jordan at 17, and myself, I came in 15 in the main category, but then I got an extra point for predicting that something Fortnite would be there, and we got the
Master Chief.
confirmation that Master Chief was showing up. So 16
great.
with Chris and Al Bob there.
Alrighty.
So what did we
What
tie?
No,
Austin takes
won.
it at 20.
He had 20.
Austin.
20 points.
Nice.
I killed you
That's
guys.
awesome.
Nice,
Yeah,
dude.
I killed you guys.
Yo,
I
Austin, what
should've
is the
said-
lottery
I should've
number?
said something. I know, right? I should have said something like just something Fortnite. I guess I wasn't thinking because it's like I felt like most of us knew that they were going to be announcing Master Chief in Fortnite at Game Awards, and I wasn't thinking about that.
Well,
for
they
some
also
reason.
announced Daryl from The Walking Dead.
Yeah.
Whoa. So do I get to double up my points then?
No.
I didn't say that. I
I'm
just
saying
said like,
that.
I feel like everyone's focus has been
Does it
Master
matter?
Chief, but we knew that going in. Technically,
Right.
that was
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what I'm saying. That should have been an easy point for me, and I missed my opportunity.
yeah.
Mhm. Of course,
When I was-
Disney-
when I was watching live, I got,
Michonne,
like-
not just Daryl, also
Yeah.
Michonne.
Yep.
right.
I don't watch the show, so
Sure.
I only
When I was
recognize
watching live,
Daryl.
I got like 9 or 10 predictions in a row right, and I was like, I am killing this. And then
Yeah,
I got
I
like
saw
4 or
that.
5 wrong in a row, and I'm like, shit.
I wasn't keeping track at all.
I know.
Mine are really sporadic, but I think I leaned on Hades a little too much.
It paid
Yeah.
off for you in some categories for sure.
A few it did, and I was really happy to see it do well. So, I wanted to ask because this is a discussion that's going around a lot lately, which was The Last of Us winning Best Direction,
Mhm.
after also like infamously having lots of direction issues within Naughty Dog, and like famously having some really really bad crunch conditions. It's like, do you guys think that it deserves the Best Direction award because of that?
Mm. I think they had a lot go wrong with them in terms of like COVID, and then pushing like indefinitely delaying the game and leaks
Mhm.
and stuff like that. And so like I definitely sympathize for them, but I think Druckmann and all the other Naughty Dogs that have worked their way up to take over directing like co-directing Last of Us 2. I think they came out on top with just a banner of a game. So I do think well deserved. I think everyone crunches.
The reason I bring it up and the reason it's such a discussion right now is specifically because Hades was also up for best direction, and they also infamously did not crunch. In fact, management told them it's like they weren't allowed to send emails on weekends. They had to take like so many hours off like every month. Like it was like they didn't crunch that game
Mhm.
at all.
Yeah.
And it apparently like they fostered a very, very good working environment for Hades, to the point where it's like that probably should have won. And so, but
Well-
it's a hot button issue right now, and I was just curious on your guys' thoughts.
So I don't disagree with like the points being made. Like obviously crunch is bad, respect your workers, all that
100%.
stuff. I just think that the words best direction kind of makes people think the artistic like best director type of thing.
Sure.
So you're not literally thinking of how are they directing their workers in the room that day. I think part of it has to do with people's expectations. Like, hypothetically, I think we've heard about like things like Christopher Nolan doesn't allow phones or even chairs on set, and people thought that was abusive in a way, and ableist if he doesn't let you have a chair. But if Christopher Nolan was to win Best Director, I think people are like, oh yeah, because he directed a movie very well.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, and maybe that's just down to poor communication as to what the award is.
Yeah.
But either way, I was just
I
curious. I
do-
mean, it's like
I do- I do personally want to say that of all the awards, best direction is the one that has the most like about it, like discussion,
sure.
like you said, like best direction does kind of show how that game was carried out in a way, and like the direction to where to put that game, like aesthetically and artistically, like that's part of it, sure. But like I feel like Game of the Year and other awards are way more debatable, or way less debatable than this exact award. And I do think that the only people that will know whether or not it's like viable for that award are the people that work at Naughty Dog. So I think this is
Fair.
a conversation that is really like it's worth having, but the context is extremely important, as it always is. But I think the context here is extremely important. I want to stress that.
and I don't want to. I'm not trying to clown on Last of Us or anything. I loved it. I think it deserved Game of the Year, and I'm glad it got it.
Mhm.
But I was just curious as your thoughts, just because that's a big discussion that's happening right now. So
I've seen it, and people made good points. I think it's the naming not confuses people, but it tends to imply something.
It has the most
Yeah.
gray area.
Yeah,
Fair.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there's also
1000%.
best art direction too.
Right.
that's true.
Yeah. So
what is my hair doing today? Oh my god.
Okay.
Anyway,
Touch it. And what did y'all guys think of the announcements? What were some big takeaways for you guys there?
Sephiroth and Smash.
Just starting the show off big.
Ah!
And I mean, they didn't quite get there and get back to that high, I think, until the end. You know, the rest were just kind
Yeah.
of like, I mean, these are cool, but like starting it
Right.
off with that huge announcement, because we're all just like, you see that cross pop up, and you're like, okay, who is it?
Definitely.
Who is
Right.
it?
Yeah, the fact that they started off with Smash is crazy to me, because that's like
Oh, yeah.
80% of the reason that so many people were watching to begin with was
Oh,
to
yeah.
see who got in.
Right.
They ended on
Have
almost.
they done that
or
in the
they
past?
started on almost too high a note,
That's what I think.
Oh,
Yeah.
100%.
You know what I mean?
honestly agree.
and it was like
They should've
again.
saved it for later.
I don't play Smash at all. Like it's something I would want to get into, but not even. But the
Same.
people I was watching with are fairly into Smash. And we're all watching, and I'm like, I'm interested. I'm always interested to know who it's there.
Mhm.
And then I was just like, I heard the music, I was like,
Same.
oh fuck, I think I know who it is. And then it came out, and I was just like, damn, like they did it. And like the trailer was hype as fuck. And there's
It
that
was.
moment of when I don't know what you call it, but those things get slashed, and you're like, who's it gonna be? Who's it gonna be? Who's it gonna be?
Mhm.
So yeah,
I can't
He
believe that
slashed the
Mario is
stage in
fucking
half.
dead.
I know we all
I was
gasped.
gonna bring that
like,
up. Yeah.
It's like, god damn,
I was like,
Nintendo.
Right.
So,
Just
hey,
ended
Al,
it.
on your point, what was the name of that character? Gleam, who you
Gleam,
play
yeah.
in the spirit, whatever.
Yeah.
It's that's that big thing was like that was the villain of the story mode in Ultimate, and it's a huge like you play like the entire game, like getting to the point where you can fight this thing, like the beginning of the game,
And
and it
he's a
shows
tough
just like
fight.
how strong it is. By literally like wiping out all of the entire cast at the beginning of the game, and then as a huge Final
was the
Fantasy
hand?
VII fan, that's Master Hand. Galeem controls all of those.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not.
But you've got
oh,
Master
okay.
Hand, and then you've got Crazy Hand. I'm not joking.
No. Not at all.
Anyway, uh, but there's a huge build up to the point where you fight Gleam. It is a very tough fight. It showcases how powerful it is. And so, as a huge Final Fantasy VII fan, to then have like the biggest bad of Ultimate just sliced in half, and like it's nothing by Sephiroth. I'm like, yeah. Because they did such a great job of showing it's like, hey, Sephiroth ain't to be fucked with.
Yeah.
Right?
That terrifying music
Turns
playing, the
himself into a
one-winged
god.
angel.
And there was a nice touch of showing Cloud look shocked.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I saw this meme that was just like it was Sephiroth like looking up around like over a ledge, and it's like when Cloud's in another dimension and hasn't been mentally tortured for 5 minutes, and it's just like him like coming in like
See, I
That's
saw
awesome.
a meme that said, it's like, okay, so I guess we don't need Sora now since we already have a Kingdom Hearts character in Smash.
God damn it.
Hey,
That hurts me.
I don't even
that can
then-
be Cloud though,
I
right?
don't completely understand Kingdom Hearts, but I got that joke and it's hilarious.
I went back. and,
Sephiroth is in Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2, and they're
And-
both like the
I
most
knew
difficult
that
boss
much.
fights. Yeah.
And I think it's funny that people think he's a Kingdom Hearts character rather than a Final Fantasy VII character who appeared in Kingdom Hearts.
but so one thing I thought was
When
kind of interesting-
Joker from Persona was
ahead.
announced, didn't they start the show with that?
No,
I
that
don't
was
think so.
I could've
No,
swore
it
they
was
did.
late. It was really late.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah, because
No, I could tell you exactly when it was because it was after the Russo brothers presented an award. I'd be like, "What does this mean? They're going to show us the Avengers 4 trailer? This is back when we
Yeah.
were still calling it Avengers 4." And then nothing happened, and then the lights went out, and I was like, "Oh shit, here we go, here we go." Or you thought that maybe they'd announce a Marvel game or show them, and then it was Joker, which like, cool, I guess. I didn't know who Joker was, and I was like, "This also has nothing to do with the Russo, so what was the point?"
Mhm.
You know what's funny is I remember exactly where I was when they announced Joker in Smash. I was in line at GameStop to pick up Battlefront 2 for PS4.
I was
Like,
sitting
at
right
midnight.
here
That's
watching
a
Kinda Funny
flashbulb
stream.
memory, I think, is the terminology for that. Which usually goes
I
with
was-
like deaths of celebrities, not announcing of a video game character. So
I
you're
have
prepared.
a whole bank of shit like that.
I
but
could
it was
tell
like,
you
I'm
the
there with my
yeah.
roommate, who's a massive Persona fan, and so he was like on Twitter while we were in line, and then so as we're just standing, he just goes, "Oh my god!" Like I just hear, I was like, "What? What happened?" He's like, "Joker's in Smash," and I was like, "I don't know who that is." So,
Heath
Oh.
Ledger or Jack Nicholson?
Jared Leto.
Oh no.
I might throw my Switch in the trash. Get rid of the whole thing.
What were you gonna say, Al Bob?
Um.
You had a point you're wanting to
Yes.
make
Oh
there.
yeah. Yep. I just remembered. So I went back after because I said I was watching with other friends, and I went back and watched the Kind of Funny stream, and Tim actually had a really good point. We're saying with Cloud, they only have a certain number of Final Fantasy songs. And
Right.
now with Sephiroth coming, so maybe this has been in the works for a long time. So that's why there's only so many Final Fantasy songs in there.
So I can give you more information on that, Al. For our listeners who may or may not know, I'm like a huge Smash Brothers fan. Got
Don't
real
challenge
deep
him
into
in
the
Melee.
competitive. I will beat you in Melee. Actually, no, challenge me in Melee, and then you'll find out.
I'll fuck you up in Brawl. That was the last one I played regularly.
I refuse to play Brawl ever.
I'll
Alright, so
take
I
you
automatically
on in
win.
PlayStation
Perfect.
All Stars Battle Royale.
Trash game. But I'm real deep into the Smash scene. I got really deep into competitive for a few years, and the thing with Cloud is that Square Enix was like just massively overprotective. I think the story is that Sakurai actually had to try really had to do a ton of work to allow Smash into the game, and even when they did, they were like, well, you can't have any crazy alt colors. That's why all of his alts are so boring, was because they wouldn't let them do anything crazy with them. They were like, well, you can have this one stage, and then you can have 2 songs, and that's it. Like that's all we're gonna give you. Like we don't want you touching any of it. Yeah, and so they were really tight-fisted about it, and so. Coming up to this, I think part of the reason that the announcement of Sephiroth is such a big deal is because nobody expected Square Enix to allow another Final Fantasy character into Smash.
Yep,
Like that was basically off the table. We all right.
So when Sakurai originally approached Square, did he specifically want Final Fantasy VII characters, or did he just want any major Final Fantasy character?
It's my understanding he went specifically for Cloud because the idea was to try and get Smash's iconic characters.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And I mean, it's like, you think Final Fantasy, who's the most iconic character in Final Fantasy? Cloud.
Yeah,
Like,
no.
I feel like that's a
Just because
no-brainer.
part of me is wondering if they're like, well, because remakes coming out, we have to make sure to control the marketing from every angle. We can't give
But
too much.
This was, I mean, technically, Cloud first came out in Smash 4. Like, we didn't even have a release date or anything for remake at all.
Got it. Okay.
I don't think it was even a thing back
Who knows how
then.
much they'll give now?
Yeah, now it's out. Maybe it'll just be like
I'll
everything.
put another prediction out there. We're gonna get 2 more songs.
One Winged Angel.
We're not gonna get. I think there was a new stage that they showed off in his trailer.
Yeah, that was a new one for sure.
Yeah. I think we're clearly getting One Winged Angel as a song.
I think we're gonna get One Winged Angel.
That
and
was
then we'll
so
probably
dope in the trailer.
Maybe we'll
So
get something from remake, which would be really cool. But
Right.
that was a dope ass trailer, man. Oh
Like,
my
He
god!
cut the stage in half. Is that going to be a thing he can do?
I really want it to be. I hope so.
I hope so.
He killed
So that's what I
Mario.
want to talk about. Here, fuck! I can't believe Mario's fucking dead.
You're laughing. Mario's dead, and you're laughing.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Something that I can't seem to wrap my head around though is that in the trailer I think we saw a new Final Smash for Cloud, to where he does this new
The
he does like
Omni
this
Slash
new
5, I think it was called.
the new Omni Slash, which was based off of Advent Children, where he's like tossing all his different swords and stuff. It's like, I wonder if you have to play as like the Advent Children alt as Cloud, and then like depending on which Cloud you're using, you get different Final Smashes. Like that would be sick.
And so
I'd really like that.
Sephiroth's Final Smash.
It only triggers when Sephiroth is also in the game.
Oh,
That'd be
Yeah.
cool.
maybe, yeah.
Maybe
Because
that's the same
Smash
thing
does
with
weird
Sephiroth.
stuff
Maybe
like that.
2 separate Final Smashes, depending on whether or not Cloud's in the stage.
Or maybe it was just something for the trailer. I mean, who knows?
That's true.
true.
Yeah.
Who knows? Either way, it
think
was
the
really
real-
cool though.
We'll find out.
No, I think the
we'll
cool
find out
part about
17th.
this announcement reminds me as kind of like somebody who's like watching Smash from the outside. Like I'm very interested when they announce new characters, even though I don't play it. It's just like you there's never a way to guess. Like you're never gonna guess correctly. It's never something that you can imagine. It's always
It's
gonna come out of
trash.
left field.
I mean, even to the point where leaks always happen. Like there's always leaks or surrounding
was
Smash
tight.
releases,
The French
and nine times out of 10, those leaks are incorrect.
Yeah.
Like it's to the point where I mean, the Smash team kind of knows better than to try and guess who's coming out at this point, because we've all been disappointed so many times.
Well,
Yeah.
my
You're not
in my
wrong.
experience, those leaks are always like 1/10 correct because they're just like, this is where the leak said, and it's like 10 names, and they're like, "Ha, told you," and all the other 9 of them
Yeah.
are wrong. So they just
Yeah.
took a bunch of guesses.
If you just throw a bunch of shit at the wall, some of it's bound to stick.
Mhm.
What's always
Right.
what's always great though too is just with the characters that we have now. Some of my favorite posts, like every now and then, especially on like r/Smash Brothers, you'll see like a match that's like yeah, Cloud, Steve from Minecraft, like Terry from Final Fight, and whatever it is. Like if you told me that that this was going to be in Smash, I'd have thought you were lying.
Yeah, like, go back to
I'd have
Smash
told you to fuck off.
64 and tell you like, hey, these people are going to be in the game eventually.
Do you
And
do
Banjo
you
Kazooie,
think-
like yeah.
Do you think that the last Smash character they add to Ultimate will be Waluigi? That they'll be like, fine, here you go.
Yes, I do.
I mean,
I
listen,
do.
fans have bullied companies into less. We got the Raimi suit after bullying Insomniac. We changed Sonic.
Don't
They changed the
bully
entire release date
Sakurai.
on that movie.
I don't, and I mean, it's
I
like
was,
we
I'm not
basically
encouraging.
bullied-
Please
I was gonna
don't
say,
bully
we also
companies on the internet.
We also basically bullied Lucasfilm into reverse Last Jedi. It's like I don't want to set that precedent. I almost don't want them to
Mhm.
put Waluigi in the game specifically so that
Yeah.
entitled nerds don't feel like
Yeah,
they
no.
they
Don't
did
win.
anything.
Yeah.
To be clear, I am not saying go bully companies on the internet. I'm just saying enough fan want, which leads to
Yeah.
some assholes coming out of the fan want, has been a pattern lately. And
Waluigi in Smash is a meme for sure.
it's a meme, but it also like
Yeah.
it makes sense, and it is weird that he's not a playable character.
It is weird.
Yeah.
I can't see them adding. Oh no, Wario is in the game.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Isn't fucking Birdo playable?
No.
No.
No, okay, she's not. All right,
No.
but it's like
Oh,
they've
okay.
dug deep into fucking.
Mhm.
I
Nintendo
never
characters.
played Smash. Almost never. But there are these characters that are like trophies.
This
Is
is
this
trophies.
Yeah.
wrong?
Yes.
You're correct.
Okay, so can Kirby eat those?
No.
No.
Like gain a thing? So what if
No.
just there was a Waluigi one and if Kirby ate that, then he
There is
got
a Waluigi
Waluigi? Yeah. So what if
He's saying
there's
if basically
one
Kirby could get
trophy that he
abilities
can-
from the assist trophies.
That'd
Yes,
be wild.
and then what? But the only one is Waluigi.
Just Waluigi. That's the
only
only
one
way to
that-
play as Waluigi is if you swallow him as Kirby.
Like you have playable character. You have playable character. you have me costume, you have
And then-
assist
and then assist
trophy,
trophy.
and then you have Kirby eating the one specific assist trophy.
Speaking of Kirby, imagine Kirby with the Sephiroth hair and then just the
There's been
gigantic
so many
sword.
memes, ma'am. There's been so many memes of Kirby just with the white hair and a sword that's like 40 times longer than
Just, like,
Sephiroth's
off
actual
screen.
sword. Yeah.
Or what if they make it like a little dagger for Kirby? It was just a regular size dagger, but it
Safety
looks
time.
like the size
Right.
compared to Kirby.
Mhm.
Gosh.
One of my favorite
What if
jokes
it's
that
the
always
regular
comes out,
size like katana?
just half the
That would work.
screen
It's
is
the
is
exact
just the
same size.
sword.
Yeah.
One of my favorite jokes that always comes out around Smash character releases is it's like inevitably there's going to be somebody that's posted about it. It's like, I'm too poor for the new character, so I'm just going to go online and play as Kirby so I can play as the new character.
Yeah.
Just the one move.
Yeah.
Yeah, just play against somebody that has Sephiroth.
I was really convinced on the theory that it would be someone from Fortnite. I like
Yeah.
the theories people were giving. I was like, no, you have me
Well,
sold.
makes
I mean,
sense.
well, I
That's
mean,
cheap.
adding in I think Steve's Minecraft is the last character probably set the precedent. It's like, oh yeah, I bet you it's gonna be Jonesy from Fortnite.
Mhm.
Like,
Yeah, especially because like they both build slightly in there. So
Right.
Well, I
Right.
was thinking like because again I was before I was watching with some friends. I was watching Kind of Funny stream, and one of the predictions they had was Samus going into Fortnite, and then the trailer would be the reverse, basically Samus bringing
Yeah.
Jonesy into Fortnite or into Smash Bros.
yeah,
it should have been cool. That would have been
Doing
really
like
cool.
a cool like dual trailer.
yeah.
I'd
We
be
still
down
don't
with that.
have a Nintendo Bounty Hunter,
It's gotta be Samus.
which I don't think.
No, but we got Daryl.
We got Daryl.
Yo, I love
All
Daryl,
right.
so whatever.
Yeah. Moving on to more fun announcements from this, the Smash
Yeah.
Brothers talk. How do we
need
feel
Norman
about
Reedus in more video games?
Back for Blood? Speaking of zombies, Back for Blood. The Left 4 Dead team is back.
I'm in.
Oh my
I'm
god,
so
that was
fucking here
hype.
for it, dude.
Exactly. There's lots of elements of Left 4 Dead in that trailer. And
Never
the
played Left 4
gameplay,
Dead.
Oh.
So I never played Left 4 Dead, but like I understood the
What
hype
the
around
fuck?
it. I've always been a Sony
Console.
pony, and I
Console
didn't have a
player.
PC till like
Yeah,
a year
I'm right
ago.
there. Yeah,
Mhm.
console
But
player,
when me and my friend were watching the
What do you mean you never played Left 4 Dead?
console.
sir, I'm
Console player.
speaking.
It was on 360.
Yeah,
I didn't have a
I'm
360.
Sony pony.
It was on PS3. It was on everything.
You know, I came here to have a good time, and I'm feeling really attacked right now.
You should be.
Yeah.
Hey,
You know,
Chris.
as I was
Chris,
watching the
Chris.
actual
Full
play
of Jordan, Chris.
Closed alpha next week. Let's do it.
Ooh,
Fuck
for
yeah.
stream.
I gotta
one
get in.
stream.
I gotta get in.
Same.
Yeah,
After
no,
we're
I would-
recording, I'll go on.
Me and my friend were very convinced that the trailer was for the next Left 4 Dead, and then it just turned out to be Back 4 Blood, which is
knew-
the same partner. So it's basically the same
Mm.
game,
They
and
just
I'm
can't
very
use
excited to
the
finally have
IP.
that. Yeah,
You
I'm
know,
Yeah.
hyped to
something
have
I
that
like about
experience
that
with my
though, too,
friends.
is like watching that. I was like, oh yeah, there's the spitter. Like there's the
Mhm.
tank. Like I was like, cool. Like this is all. But then you had that giant fucker that comes out of
At
the
the end, yeah.
comes out of the ground, and then I was like, Braden and I were talking about this on stream, where I was just like, it would be really cool if they had like certain levels where it's just like you can't kill this thing, run. Like that was,
Yeah.
I think that would be awesome. And so like the goal is to get away from it, but they're also still throwing hordes at you at the same
Right.
time, and you got to get out.
Mhm.
And then the trailer started doing that, and I was like, yes, let's go. So it's like I'm really really excited. One, just for more Left 4 Dead. Like that's great.
Right.
Back 4 Blood looks sick. I can't wait to
Mhm.
play it. But also I'm just excited to have new concepts that we don't already have in Left 4 Dead
Right.
1 and 2 as
Mhm.
well. Like I'm excited for some fresh stuff to come into. But I mean, it's like
Mhm.
it's Left 4 Dead down to a T. You had the safe rooms. And you
Right.
had the melee weapons. You have the different like archetypes of zombies. Like it's like I'm here for
Mhm.
it, dude. It's been too long.
Yeah, I was watching that with a friend of the show, Jim Tasty, and immediately you could tell right off the bat that it was similar. And then we were all thinking Left 4 Dead 3, but I was like, well, didn't that studio go independent? Aren't they like
Same
free
way.
of Valve? And then as soon as Turtle Rock came up, it's like, yes, here we go. If Valve doesn't want to do Left 4 Dead 3, just be unapologetically, just rip it off,
Anyone
take it
surprised?
back.
Bro,
With
they
no
would-
trailers,
wouldn't-
Valve can't count to 3.
Exactly.
They went and grabbed that Thanos gauntlet. They're like, fine, I'll do it myself.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh,
To
for
the point
that
where, like,
whole
even
trailer.
you were mentioning.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead,
I
Al.
was just gonna say, for that whole trailer, I'm like, this. Everybody's saying Left 4 Dead. Everybody's saying Left 4 Dead. It's like, no, it's not Left 4 Dead. I just can't think of the name of the game. Like, because
Right.
they said the name of the game a while back. I just
Mhm.
could
Yeah.
not think of
It's
it.
basic. It's basically Left 4 Dead.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
no, I
It's
I
got
know
the 4 in the title. Like
Exactly.
it's so blatant. I love it.
exactly. Yeah, they
Right?
literally just can't use the name because Valve owns it.
Left
Right.
4 Not Alive.
Exactly. And then
Right for Dead.
so many elements.
But yeah, I think it's like I
I'm
don't know
very-
anybody that's not hyped for it. Like it looks incredible.
hmm
I'm not a shooter guy, but I absolutely love Left 4 Dead. So I am stoked for Back 4 Blood.
Yeah.
Because it
And
was
it's-
such a. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead. I keep
Oh, I was
interrupting.
gonna
everybody.
say,
I'm on some shit right now.
I was gonna say it's gonna be interesting to see what a next gen Left 4 Dead, quote unquote, next gen Left 4 Dead looks like,
Is
because
it
we haven't had one since the
PC
PS.
only though.
3.
Oh yeah, since the 360, right?
Mhm.
So it's gonna be interesting. I was
Yeah.
talking with Brett about this. I'm hoping that there's like multiple safe rooms and like branching paths within the
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
within the level design.
Yeah, it'd be really cool if they built it. If they built that out to be bigger. I don't know how. I don't know if it's going to be crazy ridiculous at first. I think they're going to want to
Rein
kind
it
of
in
tell
a
people
bit.
it's like, hey, this is Left 4 Dead. Like
Yeah.
it's how you remember it. And then hopefully, like as time goes on, I'm assuming. I mean, this is modern gaming these days. There's going to be DLC or seasons or whatever you want to
Mhm.
call it.
But I get what Josh is
They'll
saying.
build
It
it
is,
out.
it is interesting to see a game that has skipped an entire, that started in one generation, skipped an
Mhm.
entire generation.
We're not 2 generations removed.
360 was the last one.
Well, we're in the second generation, and you assume
Yeah.
it's
Sure, but
coming out in
I
this one.
still. I mean, we're
Mm.
talking
I do-
over. It's been over what 10 years since Left 4 Dead came out. Like
Yeah,
Mhm.
something like
Yeah.
that.
But I
I
mean,
do
like,
want to
first one
add
came
that
out in, like,
there's-
09.
like it is Left 4 Dead. It is Left 4 Dead, but it's not. So the fact that we're saying it jumped 2 generations, that really we can't hold that precedent for Back 4 Blood.
I was gonna
because it
say
is a
that too.
different
If they
studio,
are
it is a different
independent,
game.
Mhm.
yeah.
Can,
If they're
can you
independent,
imagine like Back 4 Blood comes out, it blows up, and then Valve's like, "Oh shit," and then they're like, "Left 4 Dead 3."
It's not gonna
like,
be the
no,
same.
you
though.
had your chance.
Or, I'm sorry, Left 4
Exactly.
Dead Alex.
Do you think there's just an emergency, like the way you have a fire extinguisher, just an emergency thing?
Half-Life
in,
3.
Like Left 4
yeah,
Dead.
just Half-Life 3. Well, it goes to levels like, okay, Left 4 Dead 3, Portal 3, Half-Life 3.
Yeah.
Well, I think it was made public a while ago, like 6-7 years ago, that they were working on Left 4 Dead 3, and it just never went anywhere.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And so yeah, I guess that team was like, screw it, we'll do it ourselves, and left and,
Right.
and went and made Left 4 Dead 3.
Well, it's like, how do you keep it fresh after a while? But also, how do you
Mhm.
keep it? How do you both keep it fresh and new, but keep what made it? I think some games struggle with that when you see sequels.
Mhm.
Which I think it's also really important because to talk about sort of the, for lack of a better term, like the culture that was surrounding like Left 4 Dead at release though too. I mean, it's like zombies were like the thing when Left 4 Dead came out, and
Yeah.
Left 4 Dead kind of took that up another level, where like, hey, this is the zombie game, but and it was a shooter too. It was coming out around the times of like Modern Warfare 2 and Black Ops, and but it was like, hey, this isn't a competitive, it's cooperative. And it was a first person shooter, because I think it's important to go off of what Austin says, where it's like, I'm not a shooter guy, but I love Left 4 Dead, because it offered a completely different first person shooter experience than anything else on the market was offering at the time.
Right.
But now, not so much. I mean, it's like a lot of other games have taken what Left 4 Dead did and tried to spin it and do this stuff. Because I mean, you've got like Warhammer Vermintide, which is literally Left 4 Dead but in the Warhammer universe. The World War Z game is just third person Left 4 Dead. And there's a good handful of others that have come out, and you look at it, and we just lost Austin. There he goes.
Oh,
Oh,
there
here
he
he
is.
is again.
Welcome back.
For audio listeners,
right.
he just dropped out. Sorry.
I was gonna say also the I played this for a hot minute. The Resident Evil 3 multiplayer beta that was out for a minute. I'm assuming that's how the multiplayer goes. That was
yeah.
like a
The resistance.
similar
or
thing where
whatever.
it's like 4 V
yeah.
zombies, but the one thing that isn't is just you have a 5th player that's like the game master and controlling everything.
Mhm.
And so I think Left 4 Dead as a whole has really left its fingerprint on the gaming scene, because there's so many other games that try and
Right.
recreate that. And I don't think it's like, outside of Vermintide, my understanding, none of those other games have really lived up to what Left 4 Dead did. I know Vermintide has a really, really big following, to the point where, I mean, they announced a sequel to Vermintide at the Game Awards.
Yeah, Dark Tide.
So I'm excited to see how they're able to push past that, outside of just being like, hey, we're the guys that made Left 4 Dead. Like if it is just more of the same, I don't know if it's going to be received as well as it was.
I
Yeah.
think people are still thirsty for it to the point.
Exactly.
I agree.
Yeah.
Well, it's gonna get played a lot. It's just, will it have the legs to make it
Yeah.
as
Mhm.
popular
for,
as Left
for
4
the last
Dead?
years. I also do think that the cooperative aspect of multiplayer kind of fell off for a while at the start of the PS4 Xbox One generation,
Yeah.
and slowly made a comeback kind of towards the end. You know, you see, and I know that I'm going to list some bad examples, but things like Anthem and Marvel's Avengers and I don't play much shooters. So I'm trying to think of games as a service. Destiny, like there was this idea of like you can still do co-op and have an enticing experience with it.
Hmm.
But couch co-op is almost completely gone. Outside
Right.
of like the Lego games,
Right.
I think, and maybe racing games. So it's like
Mhm.
it's nice to
Mhm.
see
But I mean,
co-op make a
what's
comeback.
interesting is that if you see that, if you look at that like the modern co-op
Fan
these days
done.
is really just like games as a service MMO style
Yeah.
co-op. You know
Right.
what I mean? Whereas I mean it's straight up it's linear. You pick levels, you all drop in together, and then you go
Right.
from point A to point B.
Hmm.
Gotham Knights is going to be another one that kind of brings back the co-op as well.
Right. Right. June 22nd, 2021, Xbox Series X, PlayStation 5, Xbox One,
Cool.
PlayStation 4, and PC. That is going to be a goddamn good day.
Have they said
Yeah,
whether
they-
it's going to be
Bro.
cross-plat?
Pardon?
Have they said whether it's going to be cross-platform?
I not in this tweet, but I'm hoping it is. That would
Okay.
be that'd be
I'll take a
awesome.
look. 'Cause That would
Progression,
be
hopefully.
huge if
Right.
it's cross-platform.
Crossplay,
1,000%.
cross progression.
Right.
I think.
And then, oh, I was gonna just move on to a
Okay.
next
No,
announcement.
I was just
if you
gonna.
have any
I
last
was gonna.
things you wanna say.
It's a topic for a whole nother time. But like, why is cross play so important? When I feel like cross progression should be
It's
more
not just
important.
as important.
To ask that, but I was like, yeah, that's a question for another day. So
Yeah.
Yeah,
we need
for
to work
sure.
on this as a question.
Mhm.
Let's put it out
Now-
there. Please be cross-play.
Right. For my Dead Space fans,
I was-
the Callisto Protocol, the spiritual successor, the Dead Space 4 we never got. We got Glenn Schofield back on a new project, saying it's gonna be one of the scariest games of all time. Fun
thank you.
concept trailer there.
It looked cool, just not for me.
Yeah.
Somebody that just recently played through Dead Space again, I'm very excited about this. That came at the perfect time.
Right?
Like,
I
yeah,
will watch you
let's
stream
go.
it, Chris. I'm okay watching stuff, playing it. Nah.
Yeah.
I'll have to reset
Yeah.
my scare counter on stream. My jump scares. Yeah.
See, Dead Space for me is really awkward because I love scary games. I love horror games, but for some
Mhm.
reason, when you mend that with shooting mechanics and then space, because space isn't my thing, and I'm not good at
Right.
shooters. I do like the fear games. The fear games, I think,
Mhm.
do it right. They have a slow motion
Mhm.
mechanic. I don't know if Dead Space has a slow mo mode or anything. That's not like a make it or break it for me or anything by any means.
Mhm.
But Dead Space for me is just it's not my franchise. So
Fair
is this a good like I don't know, a point to like give it another go? Because I played Dead Space 1, I played for like 2 hours, I was like, eh. And then I never played it again.
I mean, we didn't really see much. I don't think there was any gameplay, correct?
No,
like,
it was
Yeah, I'm
always
rewatching
Yeah,
the
it's
trailer
hard,
right
it's hard
now.
it's hard to recommend it right now
Good
just
point.
because
Good
we
point.
don't know. I don't know if it's actually going to play like Dead Space or not until we.
But you saw the
we
health
really
bar
see
on
it.
his neck.
Yeah,
True.
I'm
You didn't see
looking
the
up
health bar
right
in
now.
his neck? Yeah, that's sick. Which I mean,
Yeah.
to be fair, like Dead Space is just kind of Resident Evil in space. I mean,
Yeah.
if you want that experience, but not in
Resident Evil
space,
isn't my thing either.
go play Resident Evil 4. Go play Resident Evil 7. Like that's basically just
Mhm.
Dead Space, but on Earth.
Right. Right. Yeah, I missed out the whole Dead Space trilogy, and so I'm thinking this is like
I think I
I'm
played the
hoping this
demo
is
for
a
the
good
second one.
jump in.
That's like the
Yeah.
closest thing I have in response to it.
Fair enough.
I also just had to
Disney
rewatch
folds
the
up pretty
trailer
well.
because I'll be honest, I was for most of the announcements. Me and the people I was watching with just started to get talking, and I felt like that's why a lot of the announcements outside like the three big ones being Smash, which we touched on, Action
Mhm.
Blood, which we touched on, and then we'll probably touch on it later. But Mass Effect, like all
Right.
of them, kind of fell flat. Not that they were bad reveals, but I think that they just had so many big ones in the beginning, middle, and end
Mhm.
that the other ones
Right.
had to fall
Kind of
flat.
fell flat, yeah.
Mhm.
I got
Arc
one
2
that's-
was one I was paying attention for, and I called that it was
Yes.
Vin Diesel
you couldn't
before anyone
look
else
away.
recognized it.
You just
And I
wanted to
jokingly said
gaze.
maybe it's Arc 2, and I was like, "Whoa, I was right." I thought it was
I
gonna
thought it was
be
Horizon.
Brandon and I were sitting there. We're like, is fucking Vin Diesel gonna be in Horizon? And then Reaper came in. He's like, I think this is Ark. And I went, oh no, please
I
tell
was-
me it's not Ark.
I was
And then it goes
I was
Ark
thinking
2, and I went,
Horizon. but I was like,
motherfucker.
See, Reaper,
went,
he thought it was
"Oh,
going to be
it's
just an
Hori-
expansion.
Well, it wasn't Ark. It wasn't Ark. It was
I
Ark.
did the same
2.
thing where it's like, oh, is it Horizon? I was like, wait, no, those are real dinosaurs. Those are not
Yeah.
robot dinosaurs.
Right.
I was really, really excited
That
for
didn't-
like
that
this
didn't
new
dawn on
property
me.
with Vin Diesel fighting dinosaurs, and then like Ark 2. I was like, cool, I'm never gonna play that.
Yep.
All right, as I saw someone call it, the Past and the Furious.
Too Fast, Too Furious.
Or Fast and Furious 0. That was a
Yeah,
joke
I saw
on-
that one
on
too.
I
stream.
saw that one.
I was just thinking. it's in the
Fast
vein
and the
of
Furious 0 though is like, oh man, they would do that where they make this prequel where it's all their ancestors and they're racing fucking
Flintstones
Well,
Flintstones
yeah, I was about
cars.
to say I saw this one to where somebody just like it was like a screen cap of Vin Diesel's character, and it's like letting cars were just based off of this stuff in the past, but we've already forgotten what that was like. We're gonna go back in time.
I mean, it's a matter of time before Fast
And
Furious
then
goes back in
Marty
time.
McFly rolls up. They're like, what?
Here's the other thing that confused me about, because I've never played Ark, which as far as I know doesn't have a story mode, is a pure survival game. Correct me if I'm wrong. Right?
I'd
Okay,
never
so
played, so
the fact that this one had like he said something about like it was a hologram like in Star Trek, because there was that moment where they're dealing with like a computer.
Yeah.
I feel like
Yeah.
Which is what made me think Horizon. I think it's got lore, but I don't know if it has like a story, if that makes sense.
right.
Okay.
That's what the
I didn't play
animated
much of it.
series is
I
for.
Whereas-
played maybe 20 minutes of Ark and decided I hated it. And
Whereas
that
this
was
one
my
looks like it
favorite.
might have a legitimate story mode and then the survival.
Mhm.
Yeah,
And
it's,
then they announced
it's
an
very much a
anime
game that's
for
not
it.
me.
They announced
Yeah.
the goddamn Ark
Oh
anime
yeah,
with Vin
That-
Diesel and Russell Crowe.
yeah.
There's a lot of other names too. Like
There
Yeah,
was, but
yeah,
those are the
big
two that
guy,
stood out to
Big
me.
cast.
Let me see who else was in it.
Yeah, because it was a star-studded
yeah,
cast for that, which seemed insane for Ark. I never would have saw this coming for
No.
Ark. But I've
I
never
think they're
played the
getting
first one.
paid.
Okay, so
It
I'll
has to
read.
be a lot, right?
I'll read it out right now. Russell Crowe and Vin Diesel. We already said it. Gerard Butler,
yeah.
Elliot Page, Michelle
Right.
Yeoh, who I'm not familiar with. Fucking
Sounds
David
familiar.
Tennant.
David Tennant?
Yes.
Yes.
I guess it's got to do
Malcolm-
something after. Dark Souls.
Malcolm McDowell, who I also personally don't recognize. Jeffrey Wright, who the name
Oh,
sounds
yeah.
familiar, but a face isn't
He's
coming.
the let
And
them
then-
fight in Godzilla.
Got it. Okay. And then Carl Urban from both The Boys and Thor Ragnarok.
Mhm.
Yeah, baby.
Feels like-
Judge Dredd
Mhm.
himself.
Jeez, like, what is this cast?
From a
Yeah.
place
I
called
mean, they just gotta do
Texas.
voiceovers. It's not like they have to use their likeness.
How
See, when-
many?
Do we know that? Because they used
Ridiculous.
for Vin Diesel, they used his like.
But that was for the game, not just the anime. So I'm sure they pay him quite a bit.
Mhm.
Still, I mean, like some of these are amazing actors. They're like, yeah,
Yeah.
I'm gonna
I mean, across Game
voice
Awards,
act with the dinosaur anime.
across Game Awards and the Disney investor call, Vin Diesel had like 4 brand new properties drop.
Right?
Yeah,
Good day for Vin
because
Diesel.
there was like 3 separate or 2 Guardians announcements.
2 Guardians things too.
Yep.
Yeah.
Damn. What if he announced an album that day too? Oh my god.
Oh my God.
Just popped off.
There was a lot of
I'm-
albums that
I'm
came out
so-
Thursday too.
I thought after we saw him, like they were gonna debut the new Vin Diesel single at Game Awards because he went and like last year was
Oh my
was
God.
when they announced the Fast and Furious game.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. Next year, I'm predicting that
Mhm.
Vin Diesel makes an appearance because it's happened twice in a row now.
hmm That's a good call.
That's a good one. Yeah.
What if he
So
has a
bad.
sequel to his song and he calls it "Feel Like I
Don't forget.
Too"?
Feel like I do. It's the same thing again. It's just do is replaced with 2 throughout the whole song.
Yeah.
I can
So
see him doing that.
I have one other Game Awards announcement that I wanted to add before we moved on. Although I think they were like that were as excited about this as I am. But we're getting a new Perfect Dark game.
Yeah.
Yes, that was another
so
big one.
Fucking hype on that, and it's ridiculous. Like I loved Perfect Dark. I love Perfect Dark 0. Like they weren't. Perfect Dark was a great game. 0.
Right.
I enjoyed it, but I understood its flaws.
Mhm.
But I don't. I think it's a new studio, right? Like Rare's not doing this one.
No, it's
No, it's the
initiative.
Initiative.
Which for
Yeah.
a while everybody thought got a Marvel contract, right?
I was hoping
Yeah.
for a Marvel contract. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. And then,
I
as
guess
someone who's
Crystal Dynamics gets to keep that.
yeah, I've never played the the Perfect Dark games. I'm familiar with them. I think I played through part of the first one on N64. But I think what's really interesting was like the fucking trailer. Like me and my friend legitimately thought it was like a new Warzone season.
New IP.
Like I legitimately thought that it was
I thought it
like
new IP.
or a new IP, but like I'm talking like those levels of
Yeah.
like quality. So I'm like,
It looked
Yeah.
nice.
it's
Mhm.
on
I'm
my
very excited
radar
to see
now,
gameplay.
where I might just jump in and play it anyway.
Very excited to see
The-
gameplay. How about I'm putting out bets right now. Do you think it's gonna debut on Game Pass?
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, it's
Yes.
initiative, so yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, you're right. Duh.
Yeah. The other two, because they had that big Rare acquisition and the Rare replay, the other two are on Game Pass, right? Perfect Dark and Perfect Dark
Yeah.
Zero.
Zero is, I know that, yeah.
Oh, okay. And then is this a like reboot? Do we think is this a soft
think
like
it
God
is.
of War 2018 esque reboot?
She has a child.
See,
Girl.
it doesn't have.
I don't know.
Yeah, because it doesn't have a subtitle, does it?
No,
It
it's
doesn't
just
have-
Perfect Dark.
No.
Yeah, that's why I
No.
thought at first that it was going to be like a more like a Resident Evil 1 and 2 remake type thing. They're like, we're going to take this plot, but we're going to really make it modern in terms of the gameplay and the maps and all that.
I'm
we
assuming
we
it's
just
gonna
got
be a brand new
cinematic,
thing.
so I think it's going to be a
Yeah.
reboot. Yeah.
Give me,
No, I think it's because they started
give
talking
me the
about the
one
plot being with the
sentence-
climate.
give me the one sentence log line for Perfect Dark, because I've heard of Perfect Dark, but I have no idea what it is.
Same here.
You know
The
what a log
story
line is?
or like what it
It's
is?
like- Well, a log line is like the one sentence at the back of the book that explains what it is.
You
Like
want the elevator
follow
pitch.
blah blah on
Elevator,
his
yeah,
journey
basically.
to blah blah blah.
Basically, elevator pitch, yeah.
Well, I mean, originally, like Perfect Dark on the 64 was better GoldenEye.
Yeah,
Bold
I
statement.
mean, to the
Bold
point it was like GoldenEye walked so that Perfect Dark could run. Like, I mean, honestly, it was
Yeah.
it was
See,
it
I
was a
was-
refined GoldenEye on the 64.
I was gonna
that
switch
nobody
it and
played.
say it's like Perfect Dark walked so Halo could run, because I think that the modern FPS you could see the seeds of it in Perfect Dark, but once we
Oh, yeah.
got dual joysticks, Halo was able to do it better.
No, I agree. Yeah, but I think a lot of people will take that as GoldenEye to Halo, where really it was Perfect Dark to Halo. Like, Perfect Dark refined on what GoldenEye did so much, and nobody played it.
Right.
But then on and then it was a big old wet fart of a launch title on 360 that nobody else played. That was really cool because they did some really interesting things with. I mean, it's like they've always had like really interesting guns in the game. Like they get super sci-fi. It's really it's like
I'm gonna put my
It's like-
dogs outside.
it's sci-fi spies is the best way I could describe Perfect Dark.
Right.
But I mean, it's like you had like sniper rifles that where you can like see through walls and stuff, and like auto targeting mines and all kinds of stuff. It's like it's concepts that a lot of other games have picked up on since then that I think a lot of people don't realize came from Perfect Dark.
Right.
So I'm really interested to see what a modern Perfect Dark title will look like because I mean we haven't had one in 15 years.
Do you think
16?
right? Do you think this could get people to buy at least a Series S? You know, like
I
with-
don't know if it's a console pusher.
fair
Yeah.
enough. Fair enough.
I don't know if Perfect Dark is a console
There's no
pusher.
God of War,
I mean,
Spider-Man.
like Mike would probably tell you yes because he's like the only person
Right.
on planet Earth that I know that loves Perfect Dark. But it's like
Perfect
I
Dark's
don't
I
know
keep
that
thinking
it's
it's going to be
cult
available on
following
like
games.
I know it's not, but like I keep thinking
yeah,
it's a third-party game, so
Right.
yeah.
they're gonna have to
So-
really push the fact that it's a good game and an Xbox exclusive, I think, to push consoles.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
that-
I don't think
or
it's a
they just-
console pusher by any means.
Or they just be like, hey, remember this fun N64 game?
Right.
Try to get off
Honestly,
people's nostalgia.
if they in their marketing, if they wanted to nostalgia bait and just completely ignore Zero, that might work.
The
what
Perfect
I
Dark
think they gotta
collection.
And then do you
So I
think
still don't
this
know the
will be
narrative of
PC
this
as
game.
well?
I'm sorry, what?
Ask about the narrative.
Me or Josh?
I don't know.
'Cause I
Either
still
way.
don't know like the plot of this game.
Sci-fi spies. That's the best way to put it. The spy shit.
Oh, okay.
Because this
Yeah.
one's a sequel, so I don't think we actually know the plot. But I think it has something to do with like the world's ending because of the climate. That's all I.
I
picked up on.
think it's gonna be a soft reboot.
Yeah,
So I
that's
mean,
what
the
I thought
plot's
too.
not gonna matter too much.
Shoot
But I mean,
things,
but
get
back
points.
in the day, like in 64, like the multiplayer was why you bought Perfect Dark.
Yeah.
Like the same reason you bought GoldenEye was because it's like so you could play with your friends.
Right.
I don't know how true that'll be like in 2021, but
Yeah.
And then, do you think this will get a PC release simultaneously with how much Xbox content is coming over to PC?
well, it's my understanding. I guess it's not a first party game, is it? Because I know
Initiative
like
is.
might be.
Initiative is, yeah. Microsoft.
Well then, yeah, because I believe all like first party Microsoft titles launch on PC and console like day and date,
Right.
Mhm.
Right.
unless stated
if it-
otherwise. But
Right.
If it's coming to
Yeah.
Game Pass, I don't know why they wouldn't try to get both of those because they have like console Game Pass and then they have PC Game
yeah,
Pass, which
I
is
mean,
like Ultimate or whatever.
I mean,
Mhm.
Microsoft's whole deal right now is to just get as many games in as many people's hands, like by any means. And so it's like I think it would be a bad choice to not put it on Game Pass on
Mhm.
console and PC day one.
Because it's not like, and I'm not, no disrespect to Perfect Dark, but it's also not like we're not at the point yet where you hear Perfect Dark and you automatically think Xbox, and you also don't automatically think, oh, it's an amazing game, it's a must play. The
Right.
way that PlayStation has built up their first party games. So I think they kind of just have to
Mhm.
accept that this is an average exclusive game. And I don't mean
Right.
average in a bad way, but
It's like it's middle of the road for sure.
Yeah.
And so I mean, it's if they I think if they want people to play it, they're gonna have to put it on both platforms and then Game Pass all the way. And I think that's what's gonna get your player base up is by like, hey, it's on Game Pass right now on Xbox and console or and PC.
Right.
It's not like it's not like when Halo Infinite drops in 2025 or whatever. That's a completely different story. I know it's coming out next year. Leave me alone. Uh, November, I guarantee it. They're gonna release it on Halo's 10-year anniversary.
Damn.
Makes sense. It just makes sense.
I'm sorry, 20 year
20-year,
anniversary.
yeah.
Excuse me.
world.
It doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I'm calling it right now. It's gonna come out on the same day as Halo 1 did 20 years later.
Mhm.
Is that a launch? Like, don't games only come out on certain days of the week?
Yeah. Yeah. Would that be
Technically.
Tuesday or Friday?
I don't
No,
know. Who cares?
Cyberpunk came out on Thursday.
Yeah, technically
point,
came out on
good
a
point.
Wednesday at 7:00.
Yeah, for PC players. Yeah.
There are no rules in COVID anymore.
4
We can
p.m. if
just
you're on the
launch a
West
game
Coast.
whenever the
Yeah,
fuck.
lucky.
I think we're honestly past that.
Mhm.
Games can release whenever the hell they want to. Like
Fair
we're past the Tuesday and Friday
Yeah.
releases.
Right. Right.
I think Sony is going to stick to their Tuesday releases because it's worked for them.
Mhm.
And
Well, the
I
big
don't
games
and
release
Nintendo doesn't
Fridays.
change.
November
So-
15th is a Monday, so not like that much of a change.
They might push it out like early Monday night then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's also the week before Thanksgiving, so it'll you get the
That's
hype
perfect.
up, and then people get ready for Black Friday.
Yeah.
That's
Mhm.
perfect timing.
Yeah.
Yeah. One other announcement I wanted to give a shout out to was Crimson Desert,
I was gonna-
aka
Yep.
the Assassin's Creed killer, is what I feel like that project is codenamed around the
I missed
studio
that.
because
That's the one
that-
with, like, where you can fly the dragon.
yeah.
Not the
Yeah.
lasers one, but
Mhm.
Oh
That was-
shit! Yeah, the MMO one.
basically like
Yes.
Skyrim. Yeah. What it looked like.
Yeah,
Yes.
dude, that looks sick.
Mhm.
the
was this
combat
the-
was amazing.
Hold on, what was it called? Can you give me the title?
Crimson,
Crimson
Desert.
Desert.
This might have been the one that I was watching it, and I went, "All right, this is either For Honor 2
Yeah.
or I can't remember what else I said, but I basically said it was like it looked like it was For Honor 2 in the trailer."
I think they gave the title before they debuted.
They did. They did.
You
Yeah.
underestimate
They
how
showed the
much I was
title,
paying
and then the first like 2 minutes of that trailer is like
No, you know
locale
what?
shots and walking around and
Yeah.
cutscenes, and so it's like on stream
then
I was
gameplay.
I was like, okay, this looks all right, and then the
Mhm.
combat started, and I went, holy
Oh
shit!
shit! Yeah.
Yeah.
No, you guys are right. I was thinking of Outlaw.
Good.
Oh right.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, this game
Yeah.
looks awesome.
Yeah.
Shout
I'm
out-
excited for it.
I'm watching the trailer again right now. It's like,
5-minute trailer.
Mhm.
It's a great
shout
trailer.
out to the particle effects in this game too. Holy shit!
It's gonna look so
Right?
good on the PS5. It's gonna look so good.
Absolutely.
Like
Absolutely.
you can straight up like suplex or like Stone Cold Stunner orcs, and I'm here for it. Dude.
Yeah.
A game that came
I'm
out
here
of
for
South
it, dude.
Korea because
Love
they
it.
had like the Korean text above it, and then it said
Mhm.
Crimson
Right.
Desert.
Which is
Right.
why it's an MMO.
Yeah.
There's something about Eastern companies that they love to make MMOs.
Mhm.
It looks so
And
cool.
do we-
like the part where you can
Do
fly
we
a
know the
dragon.
developer or the publisher? Is this maybe just an independent game?
Just the title, at least the article.
It's the
on
same
it.
people who made Black Desert, which is a massive MMO, I believe.
Okay.
Oh,
right.
okay.
Pearl Abyss. No one that comes.
Oh yeah, that sounds familiar.
Yeah.
Here, I'll look.
Okay.
You guys keep going.
Yeah. No,
We
it
got a
looked
bunch of I was just gonna. Yeah,
It did
a bunch of
look
indie
incredible.
games.
Like
Yeah.
that was all in-game footage, I think, is what they said.
Yeah,
Mhm.
And they did a game called Shadow Arena, which I think I've heard of before.
that sounds
These
familiar
okay,
too.
so now I'm starting to get a little wary. They make a lot of these,
Gotcha.
for lack of a better term, they're these Eastern like gacha style, like very like typically pretty like mobile favored MMOs.
Mhm.
They're good. I feel like I'm getting some red flags. There could be unbelievable
I see some people asking.
monetization in this game.
I do see some people asking if it's going to replace Black Desert. So if it's just a spiritual successor to then they end support just to keep getting people to buy in.
Right. Interesting.
Had this
Only
crazy
time
trailer
will
just to get people
tell.
to buy in.
Mhm.
Combat was sick.
It did.
At,
Yes.
at the very least, if it's free, I'll play a little bit of it just to see that combat.
Yeah.
Like,
Mhm. Yeah, 1,000%.
I won't give it any money if the monetization's real bad, but I'll play it.
Mhm.
Yep.
If it reviews high, I'm
Yeah.
good to go.
Right.
Like if it
Yeah, that's
gets favorable numbers like are up, like I'm
Honestly, with
gonna
how
give it
big like Genshin Impact is, they might be launching into the perfect climate right now.
Oh yeah.
That's true.
Right.
They also had a trailer.
Yeah. Yeah, they did.
Did they?
Because I thought it was
I
a
remember
I thought it was a
this.
new game for a second. I was like, oh wow, another Breath of the Wild ripoff. And my friend was like, oh no, like this one's been out. And it was
Yeah,
Genshin Impact.
isn't it? They're doing an expansion soon.
I think I just kind of
Okay.
zoned out because I.
It's the ripoff that's already out. It released. This ripoff released already. Sorry.
Mhm.
was-
I
Let's
wanted to
just-
shout out one more
Okay, go ahead.
game. I don't know when we're gonna go into the Disney Investor Call or anything, but shout out to Season,
Yes.
Yes.
That and
because
open
that
How was
game
that?
looks fucking gorgeous.
I was like that
That's a
indie
cell shaded?
girl looking with with like
where
the
it looks like
great camera.
Yeah, I was about to say she's got a camera, she got a video camera, she had a fishing pole and a bicycle, and it looks like you just travel around and take pictures of things. And I was like, that looks like the chillest game on the planet. The art style is
Exactly.
incredible.
Mhm.
The soundtrack, just from what we heard in that trailer, was amazing. I'm
Mm-hmm.
here for it, dude. That game looks awesome.
Yeah.
I don't even know what it's launching on.
Most of the indie games they showed were like highlights for me, which is really
Open
important to
Road?
say. But like
Yeah.
indie games are like bright spots on the Game Awards now for me. That's incredible.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's awesome that they can stand next to Vin Diesel and Arc 2 and
Yeah, it's so cool.
Smash Brothers and Mass
Yeah.
Effect 4 announcements and stuff like that. Like it's awesome that they're tailoring towards everyone with their announcements.
Can't believe you just put Vin Diesel and Smash Brothers on the same platform.
Vin Diesel is the final fighter in Smash Brothers Ultimate.
I
You
wouldn't
heard
be
it here
upset about it
first.
if it's just Dom Toretto.
No, they get
Yeah,
and then
So,
they
yeah,
copy
it's
them.
Dom Toretto.
If
They
it's really-
copy the Mega Man Final Smash, where it's just every other member of the Fast and the Furious group rolls up in their car.
The Rock rolls up in a tank, and then it's like that's just it.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I think that's what the plot of Fast and Furious 10 is going to be. Is they're going to break into Super Smash Brothers, and then like they have to fight Mario or whatever.
Telling you, the name better be Fast 10 Your Seatbelts.
Oh my god! If
That'll
it's
be the
not-
tagline. That'll be the tagline.
yeah.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, I love that like play on words, but it doesn't sound like a finale. If
No.
10 is the finale of the series,
Well,
it
I
doesn't
believe
sound like a
they've
finale.
already
Saga.
said they're going to space, and that Fast 10 is going to be 2 movies.
Yeah. Part 1, Part 2.
Right.
It's the Infinity
part two.
War of the Fast and the Furious franchise.
I've still yet to see one of those movies.
That's
so.
the title.
I've
This
never
is
seen it either. I
Infinity
just
War
love
of
the
Fast
name.
and Furious title.
10finity, Fast 10finity.
And then, did we want to talk about Mass Effect will continue hit game? Are we Mass Effect
I'm very excited for Mass Effect will continue. That it's a weird title, but I'm into it.
Another
right?
yeah, another weird
Let's try to
title, huh?
dissect it. Who's will continue?
Well, Will
Yeah.
is the main character from Pirates of the Caribbean: Curse of the Black Pearl.
Yeah.
Oh, so it's not Will Wheaton.
Imagine they put Will Wheaton in Mass Effect, dude.
What's your name? Will. Will what?
Will
Will
Wheaton.
continue.
I'm hyped for it though. I mean,
Oh,
we see
yeah.
Liara, which is really cool. Hopefully, we don't get Andromeda, and it's
Yeah.
actually good.
You
Yeah,
know,
this is like
I was just gonna say people have like really like zoomed into the other characters and people thought that was like Morden and Grunt. too with them, so
Right.
it's like some weird time stuff happening potentially.
Maybe.
Mhm. Yeah, I think BioWare Edmonton is on their last couple legs after Andromeda.
I'm not. I don't have a lot of faith in BioWare these days, man. Like,
Well,
it's
like-
like I'm excited. I'm happy that Mass Effect is will continue,
Mhm.
but like, is it gonna be good?
When's this game even coming out? Because they're working on fixing
Dragon Age
Anthem.
2
They're doing Dragon Age 2.
or 4.
We also
They
got
are-
a trailer
Four.
for.
They're supposed to do the Mass Effect Legendary Edition, which I assume is almost ready at
I
least.
think that's
but
next
still
year
counts.
sometime.
Well, they're also ports, so I mean, it's not like that's
But is it? So I've heard
Right.
rumors that because the first one doesn't translate well to modern audiences, they're going to kind of remake or redesign
Kinda
the
do like
first one.
what,
It goes anyway.
like
Kind of
Kingdom
like what
Hearts.
they did with Mafia, where like they remastered 2
Right.
and 3, but then just remade 1.
I
Right.
think
I
so.
can
Like
see
That's
that's
kinda
what I've
what I
been
hope
hearing.
they do.
Either way, it's still something they have to work
Or
on.
like
Oh, yeah.
Crash.
that. Mhm.
Yeah, and then you have like, so which one's supposed to come out first? Dragon Age or Mass Effect will continue?
I'm assuming. Well, I think Dragon Age is coming
Oh,
first.
yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah,
we're
it's
not
just
They,
a
they announced
cinematic.
that years ago.
we're not getting
Mhm.
this game for years then.
No,
No.
it's gonna
Right.
be well. That's why all we got was
2025.
will continue in a CG trailer because that ain't
Yeah.
coming out anytime soon.
2025.
Yeah.
at
I look
the
forward to playing it on my
earliest.
PlayStation 6.
At the earliest.
Yeah, I did see it.
Is it just called
2024.
Dragon Age?
Hmm?
Is it just called Dragon Age?
Dragon Age 4.
Yeah, I don't think
Okay,
there's a.
I didn't know if they put a number.
I don't.
on it.
I don't think they've said. I don't know whether it's actually gonna. There's just gonna be titled Dragon Age 4, or if it'll get a like a whatever Inquisition. You know what I mean?
Right.
A subtitle.
Yep.
Or
Which
title.
I liked the last Dragon Age.
Mhm.
Okay,
Is a
okay.
little rough around the edges in parts, but I think they can clean it up. Like Dragon Age is kind of like the only like decent thing that they've put out in a long time.
Right. Right. And like, because that last one came out 2014, and then
The last
Yeah.
one was a PS4 launch title.
right, because I think it won Game of the Year 2014. So it was like definitely that first
Mhm.
year launch,
did.
and then
Mm-hmm.
we had Andromeda after that in 2016, and then Anthem,
Yeah.
which I don't even think they're gonna try to even go back and touch at this point. I think they've just
It's been long
they've
enough.
given up all hope. Yeah.
And Anthem, I mean, it's got about, it's got more problems than Avengers, if you can believe it.
Here's the thing, though. I feel like each of the three big it's a bad games as a service, Fallout 76, Avengers, Anthem. They all have different types of
Apparently,
problems.
Fallout has really turned around.
Yeah, so that Fallout, I think, was originally the issue was just it straight up was unplayable. The bugs were ridiculous. Anthem, because I played the beta, it has a skeleton of a very fun game
Yeah.
there.
Right.
And like the gameplay is fun, the shooting mechanics are great, flying, the designing, the javelins are great. I just think that it was lacking in terms of things to do. And
Yep.
Avengers has got a nice
Fair enough.
Goldilocks mix of both.
Also, didn't BioWare just announce 2 major departures from the studio like a week,
Big
Yeah.
ones. Big
like
ones.
10 days before?
Like
Right,
like
the
OG
heads.
stuff.
Mm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Casey
And then they
Neistat.
still
Like dudes that have been on since like Baldur's Gate, like left.
Right.
Like
What if I'm left for a point then
Oh!
come back?
fucking Baldur's Gate 3 also they're working on too. Let's not forget about that.
Right.
That's BioWare?
Yeah.
Is it?
No.
The first 2 were.
I think at least was it some I can't remember the studio, but I don't
I'll
think
do
it's
a Google.
Oh
BioWare.
no, I think you're right. Yeah, I think somebody else.
That's
is
like
working on Baldur's Gate.
Lorion
Yeah,
Studios.
Lorion
Yeah.
Studios. Yep.
There you go. Yeah, you're right. I forgot somebody else was doing Baldur's Gate now. Never mind. Ignore me.
Yeah,
Ignore me.
BioWare for the first
Yep.
couple for sure.
Yeah, don't
Before
worry
we-
about me. I'm
And so before we move on to the Disney stuff, I just want to give 2 quick shout outs. One good,
Mhm.
one bad. Good one, I would say I'm gonna wait for reviews, but I'm kind of interested in Scarlet Nexus.
Yeah,
That
same.
looked
Mhm.
interesting. The one I wanted to call out for just looking awful, Just Cause Mobile. That looked awful.
What a terrible trailer, man! It had performance issues in its trailer, dog.
That's what I said. Just Cause 3 was great. Just
Mhm.
Cause 4, awful. This looks awful.
Right.
It's like,
Right.
just-
Who asked for that, man? Like, really?
Nobody.
Exactly.
Nobody.
Who looked at
That was my thought.
Who looked
too.
at Just Cause as like this would make a great phone game?
The great battle
Who's
royale.
the dude
from-
that wants to play Just Cause so bad? They're like, if only it was portable, but not on the Switch.
If only it was a
Right.
top-down twin-stick shooter on my phone.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It didn't even like
Exactly.
finish the fourth game, and then they made a mobile game because the fourth game was a buggy mess.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
disappointing. Disappointing.
I wish just make Just Cause 3 have 60 FPS on PS5. Just a random update because it's locked at 30. It's locked
Right.
at 30.
For any of y'all with PCs, I believe there was a a Just Cause 3 multiplayer mod that still has
Yes.
tons and tons of people playing it on Steam, and it's fabulous. It's just a good chaotic time. Can't recommend it enough.
Just Cause 3 is that game for me where it's like whenever I have a shitty day at work, just load up Just Cause 3 and just start shit up. Just get out some of that anger.
Because that's action movie the video game. Like
It is.
Right.
Like how you can make tanks
right.
just fly up as rockets. Just put a couple bullet holes in them and then they just.
Physics
I'm
don't
not
matter.
gonna
when it
lie.
looks cool.
When I had a bad day at school, I would make a new Fallout 3 save and I'd go blow up Megaton. Just saying.
Oh my,
Hell yeah.
you're a sociopath.
hell yeah.
Someone needs to stop Austin. And I'm the guy that likes Knack, and that's fucked up.
Fuck Megatron.
All right. Sorry I said anything. My bad. My bad, guys.
I'm kidding. I'll just kidding. I'm fucking with you. All right. Are we done?
No, you're not.
Have we said all we wanted to say about the Game Awards? Is
I
there
think
any
so.
last
Shout out
points we
to
wanna go?
shout out to Andy Cortez for making it into the Latinx and gaming.
Latinx.
Yeah.
Shout out
That was a
that
cool thing.
whole. Shout out that whole
Super
thing.
dope.
Shout out the
mental health.
Gorillas 2D band.
Yeah, that was
3D
cool
animated
at the
band
beginning.
with the trans Black Lives Matter shirt. Shout out that.
Yeah, that was
Lots of
sick.
awesome stuff.
Mhm.
That wasn't Gorillas, it was somebody else, but that was sick.
I know.
Can
It
we
reminded
talk
me of
about-
Gorillas. That was what I thought too.
Can
Yeah.
we talk about how Eddie Vedder has clearly never played a video game in his life? Like they're like, we need you to sing the song. He's like, yeah, sure. And they're like, now say some words. And he's like, oh well, the song was in The Last of Us, and he didn't even say part two. He didn't, or
Yeah.
two.
Yeah.
He just,
Yeah.
"Yup, The Last of Us."
Also, I'm still very upset that they brought Tom Holland on to mention that he's in the Uncharted movie, and then we didn't get a trailer. So
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly. I thought
That's
we would
upsetting.
see.
what a
So weird.
perfect setup, and they missed the spike.
They brought him on to say he was in the Uncharted movie, and then passed the mic to Nolan North to announce the next
Yeah.
category. It was like, oh my
Yeah.
god.
He's like, hey, I'm Nathan Drake. Up next is the guy who's actually Nathan Drake. And like that was it. I'm like, okay.
I think there was
Exactly,
supposed to be a trailer, but it probably wasn't ready.
Oh.
Also, shout out to how well dressed Brie Larson was for her part.
yeah, 1,000%.
Sharp.
Shout out Laura Bailey taking home best
Best actress.
performance. Yep.
Called it.
Austin and I believe called it. We're the only two.
It really
with,
was
uh,
this 50-50.
How dare
Alright.
you? I called it.
Is it going to be
I was there
Shannon
too.
Woodward, or is it going to be?
I had you down as Ashley Johnson, dude.
That is incorrect.
Ashley Johnson. That's what I meant.
You
Because I said
Ashley
I
Johnson.
said Ashley Johnson at first, and then I
No.
Oh,
flipped.
and then we swayed you. Okay, then you
Chris
had
is
you
right.
had
Yeah,
said-
no,
He
I
is right.
I
Yep.
convinced Chris. The winner of the
Right.
bet convinced Chris to make the decision that was right. So
Ooh.
All right, I'm
Heard it
bumping
here,
you up to
folks.
17 points
Right,
right,
buddy.
now, Chris. It's been fixed.
Still 3 points
is that when
behind.
I'm tied for second?
Yeah, him and Jordan are now tied for second.
Hell yeah. All right, I'm gonna go get some water. I'll be right back.
Chris, go off on Star Wars. Do your thing.
Exactly.
You just want me to
Let's
launch
go.
into it?
Let's
Go.
go.
Off King.
Do
Let's
it.
go. All right, I'll start off with the thing I think I'm the most excited about, which is that Hayden Christensen will be returning in the Obi-Wan Kenobi series.
Mhm.
Sounds
As Darth
And
Vader.
they labeled him specifically as Darth Vader, which I think means that we're going to see him in the suit, which is
I mean,
really
you have
really cool.
to because he was.
Yeah,
in
not.
Revenge
I
of the Sith.
assumed it was going to be flashbacks.
I did too, but they specified Vader,
Mhm.
Hmm.
which
I
has
thought-
me wondering. It's like, so they're not going to get like James Earl Jones or anybody else to voice Vader? Is that actually going to be like Hayden Christensen's voice altered?
I could see that only because in Rogue One, James Earl Jones was sounding a little rough, and he
Same
also
with
made that choke on your aspirations joke. And honestly, get him out. Get
Hey,
him
people
Everyone
act,
Darth
people
Vader
act
made
like
a fun-
Vader's never made a dad joke, and he does it all over Empire Strikes
Yeah.
Back. Fuck off.
out.
But I mean, also, I mean, he voiced Vader in Rebels too, and I mean, he sounds old. In
Oh
Rebels.
yeah,
He sounds
Yeah.
old in Rebels.
yeah.
Although
So
I did-
yeah, I'm
just quick,
curious
Chris,
if that
Chris,
actually behaved.
before I just earlier today, I was just walking around our kitchen. And there was a commercial for like this service that did like audio version of the Bible, and James Earl Jones was reading the Bible. Sounds awesome.
I'm down with that.
That's cool.
So
I'm
just,
not
that's
a-
why the
I'm
quick
not
say
a-
that.
Your powers are weak, son of Christ.
I feel like the Bible fan base is really toxic, but that might get me into it.
That's what I was
The Bible fan base.
Yeah, they're just
The Bible
toxic-ass
fan base.
So many
motherfuckers.
that just won't decide what's canon and what's not.
Exactly. They're constantly bending their rules. Like,
Oh,
God, make
And,
up
it's
your
not-
mind,
and
guys.
the author never speaks up about it.
Exactly.
Paul once
Right,
thought
right,
as you did.
Right.
And like, well, okay, the main character dies at the end. How cliche is that?
Exactly.
And he comes back. It's everybody does it. I grew up in a Christian home. I can make those jokes.
Yep.
I really hope my mom never listens to this episode.
Oh,
I could see maybe we'll get some moments where like how we got Darth Vader without his helmet on in like Empire Strikes Back, or like where he's in the BAFTA tank in Rogue One. Like I could see
That'd be really
like
cool.
we get some shots of Hayden Christensen kind of
be
fucked up
very
like
cool.
that.
Which I'm glad you bring that up though too, because originally we were going to get Hayden Christensen in the back to tank in Rogue One.
Were we?
Yeah. You can go look at the it's in the concept art for Vader in Rogue One. They actually used like Hayden's likeness like hanging in the back of the tank, and that leaked
Mhm.
before the movie came out, and everyone's like, oh shit, is Hayden going to be in the movie? And then
Right.
and then they kept it, they obscured it so we couldn't see his face, which I was like, that's probably the right decision.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But I think that's really, really cool. I do think it does set us up to get like Hayden in some form of like flashback or something like that as well. I think the relationship between Anakin and Obi-Wan is probably going to be like the central plot to the whole thing.
Mhm.
And I know it's like Ewan McGregor has already said that they're going to face each other again.
Right.
Uh,
I think
and
one of them said rematch the century.
yeah, and I've seen some people are like, well, how does that work? Like they're not supposed to see each other until like after like in between Revenge of the Sith and New Hope. And I was like, well, I think really the way their way in is that there's a line, I believe it was in Return of the Jedi, that Vader says to Luke, where Luke's talking about, it's like, I'm gonna bring you back. Like I know there's still good in you. And Vader says to Luke, he's like, Obi-Wan once thought as you did. And I mean, it's like so far, to our knowledge, we thought we'd seen everything that Obi-Wan and Anakin say to each other on screen. You know what I mean?
Right.
And so I think they're kind of playing off that. It's like I don't think that there's anything saying that they can't have met at least one more time. And so what I think we're going to get is like, obviously Obi-Wan's not going to win because Vader's still around by the time we get to New Hope, and I think that gives us something really, really
Vader
interesting.
doesn't necessarily win.
Yeah, exactly. 'Cause, I mean, they're both there, but I'm going to make a prediction here. I think what's going to happen is they're going to meet. They're going to do it one more time because I think Obi-Wan is so hurt that, I mean, his brother, his friend, like fell to the dark side and destroyed everything. I think we're gonna get that rematch that one more time. It was like Obi-Wan's like, I'm going to try and save you, and then it doesn't work, and that's the point to where it's like hope is lost for like Anakin is dead. Like Vader is he's now Vader. Anakin is gone. We see in Rebels, small spoiler, but that when asked, Obi-Wan says that he believes that Luke is the chosen one. And then of course, I mean, both Yoda and Obi-Wan were pushing Luke. Is like, hey, you have to kill Vader.
Right.
Like you've got to kill him.
The only one left.
Yeah, and Luke was like, I'm not going to kill my father, but I think this show is going to give us the point to where Obi-Wan tries to save Anakin one last time and loses hope there. So I think it's going to be very, very interesting. I don't think it's going to be a very happy show.
Right.
But I'm down for it. I hope we also get at least like a small subplot of Obi-Wan kind of being like this ranger out in the desert of Tatooine and protecting a village from Tuskens, because that was an old expanded universe story. It was very cool.
Okay.
So outside of that, Ahsoka's getting a show.
That's awesome.
Which I think we all expected.
Yeah, because that Mandalorian episode seemed more like a test pilot.
It seemed like it definitely seemed like a backdoor pilot. And so yeah, it is Rosario Dawson playing Ahsoka. It's live action. and they've already said that it takes place like during the time of the Mandalorian.
Yeah.
And so that's especially, I was like, yeah, that was clearly a backdoor pilot because I think it's going to be about her trying to locate Thrawn and Ezra.
Right.
And that's going to be like the main plot to it there. And so that's just very cool. I think Rosario Dawson was fantastic as Ahsoka. I'm excited that she's getting her own show. It's being held.
Right.
It's being helmed by Dave Filoni himself.
Oh, awesome.
Which tells me I was like, this could end up being like the sequel to Rebels, honestly.
Yeah.
Right.
Just with all the way all the pieces are moving, I mean, we might get a live action Thrawn, which really excites me too.
Mhm.
So I'm very stoked on that one. We're getting Rangers of the Republic, another show that takes place during the Mandalorian times.
Directed by Patty Jenkins. No, that's Squadrons. Sorry.
That's Squadron, and we'll get there.
Oh, wow.
I'm sorry, Rangers of the New Republic, which I think is going to be really, really cool because I know something that a lot of Star Wars fans have asked for is like we want to see more of like what's going on, like politically in the timeline at this point in time, and so we're actually going to get like a direct view in on the New Republic, and that's really cool. I really hope that the Asian X-wing pilot that we keep seeing in Mandalorian is in it. I think it's very much based off of those characters.
Right.
I'm curious to see if Cara Dune is going to be in it or not.
Especially with Gina Carano being Gina Carano.
Yeah, I see. I heard a
Yeah.
rumor that they were going to announce a Cara Dune show to begin with, and that Gina Carano's behavior kind of
Watch
took
that.
away from
yeah.
that being announced. So, like the concept is still there.
Bro, I went and looked into a little bit more because I'd heard about some of the things that she'd like said,
Mhm.
and I went and delved a little further, and so I guess it started to where she had kind of like made fun of somebody for putting pronouns in their thing. And what's the name of the actor that plays Mando?
Pedro Pascal.
Pedro Pascal.
Yeah.
Yes.
Pedro Pascal apparently like messaged her in private and explained the whole thing to her, and then she went and made her pronouns like beep/boop on Twitter, and everyone was like, "What the fuck?"
I heard
That's fucked up.
I heard it was she didn't understand it. He talked to her. She started to understand it, and then she just continued kind of doing what she did to begin with. Like there was like a 5-minute period where she understood it, and people were like, "All right, maybe she's not." And then it was just like, "Nope, back."
And I mean,
Right.
some of it obviously is hearsay, and I'm not going to delve too deep into it. But yeah, it was my understanding that Pedro explained it to her, and then she still went, "Nah, fuck you," and said really stupid things. And I just don't like her that much anymore. Anyway, going on. I think that'll be a cool show. I'm excited about that. Like Al said earlier, we're getting that Patty Jenkins movie, Rogue Squadron, baby.
Right?
I might cry. I don't think they've really said like too much of when it'll take place or really what the plot of it is, but I don't give a fuck. It's a movie about X-wing pilots. That's amazing.
Rogue
Follow the game.
I don't think so. I think they have said that where it doesn't follow the game. I think it's actually going to take place
okay.
closer to the sequels than it will the original trilogy.
That'd be awesome.
Which
Okay.
I'm down with that. Especially, I mean, if that means we even get like Poe Dameron, we get Oscar Isaac back. Oh,
Rogue Squadron. I mean, being like the actual thing. Do you think it might actually lead into Rangers of the Republic, or Rangers will lead into Rogue Squadron?
I think it'll be Rangers will lead into Rogue Squadron.
Yeah.
It's my understanding it will take place during the New Republic. As far as like, there's that 30-year gap between Return of the Jedi and Force Awakens, and we don't really have a good idea of where within that's going to take place, but it'll be there, is my understanding. And so, I mean, it's Patty Jenkins is a great director. I'm excited about that movie a lot. I mean, she described it as wanting to make like the best fighter pilot movie of all time. And then she's like, I tried for a long time, and then she's like, then I was offered Star Wars, and now she can. I'm like, yes, please.
That makes
the space combat is the best part of Rogue One. Oh my god, it just makes so much sense. Please let me. Oh, I can't wait.
Shout out Patty Jenkins for being a badass motherfucker, rollerblading to a Tesla, gearing up, and then just walking off to an X-wing.
I know, what a cool trailer, dude.
Right?
What a cool video.
Maybe they do a Battlefront situation where, Star Wars Squadrons 1 is its own game, but Star Wars Squadrons 2 maybe can be canon in the Rogue Squadron Rangers of the New Republic universe type of thing.
That'd be really cool. I'd be down with that because I think Squadrons was really well received, and if they wanted to take that, make a sequel, and tie that into a new property, I think it's there.
Yeah,
definitely. Something else that I'm very, very excited for, and so before I get into it, and I want to give some context as to why I'm so excited about this. And so, starting, I believe next year, we're getting a sort of, I don't know how to describe it, like media initiative within the novels and the comics, to where they're going to start exploring an era within Star Wars called the High Republic,
Yeah.
which is kind of like the new canon version of the Old Republic.
Mhm.
I mean, so we're talking about like it's the Jedi at their peak at a time of peace. There's not a whole lot going on. Like the Sith are mostly gone. They're either going to be dealing with an enemy called the Nihil, which reminds me a lot of like Darth Nihilus from Knights of the Old Republic 2. And that, like, the first novel within the High Republic is coming up very, very soon, and it's so highly. I'm very excited to get into that and just see what that's going to be like. I believe it's like 500 years before Phantom Menace or something like that.
Right.
Just to give an idea.
100, I think. Yeah.
So we just got to.
We might legitimately be able to see the actual baby Yoda, like Yoda.
Yoda is so. 500 years might be a little too long. I think Josh nailed it. It's like 200 to 300 or something. Maybe it's even 100 years before, because Yoda's in it.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah, and they've already said that Yoda is going to be in it. He's already like a Grandmaster Jedi. He's just not as old.
Right.
But there's a show coming to Disney Plus called Acolyte, which they've said takes place at the end of the High Republic era.
Yeah.
And so this is going to be our first, like, it's like, so far as we're aware, it's the only on-screen thing that we're getting that's High Republic involved at all.
Right.
At the moment, we don't know what Taika Waititi's movie looks like. We don't know what Rian Johnson's trilogy looks like. And they said that it's essentially it's a treasure hunt through the High Republic, and that's kind of all we really know about that. But that's cool. I'm like, Indiana Jones in space. I'm down with it.
The Acolyte one?
Yeah, Acolyte.
I thought they said mystery thriller, something like that.
Oh,
but
sorry.
yeah.
No, you're right. Yeah, mystery thriller. Yeah.
Which is like awesome, because I remember seeing that concept art. They debuted it earlier this year, and the visuals for it look
High Republic
amazing.
art is incredible.
Right? And then
I do remember this. Yeah, I thought it was going to be a comic book.
Yes. I saw that it was a novel, and I was like, but the visuals are there. I just want to show a game something visual with it, and so I'm glad we got Acolyte.
Well, it is a comic, and they actually, at the investor meeting, they did release like a few pages that you can see. I believe it's on r/Star Wars Leaks is where I saw it. But there's a comic series. They're doing novels. They didn't mention when they initially first announced High Republic, like there's a possibility for video games within the High Republic. They haven't announced anything yet, but I'm still hopeful. But yeah, this is our first visual thing that we're getting the High Republic, and I'm very excited about that.
Chris, according to Wikipedia, the Old Republic
transitions into High Republic. I remembered it later.
Yeah,
I remembered it later, after I'd already said all that and tried to ignore it. But thank you. Yeah. So I mean, which still sets it up to if they ever want to touch the Old Republic, it's still there.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, the High Republic is a brand new thing that wasn't part of the expanded universe. This is an entirely original thing that they're doing, which is really, really cool. And yeah, the artwork for it, incredible, amazing. And but something that excites me is that the word acolyte specifically within Star Wars has only ever been used to reference Sith acolytes, which is it's a mystery thriller. So that kind of tells us could we be getting a story from the dark side perspective? That would be.
Oh yeah.
Or about
that would be so cool.
The dark side rising up to then take over full.
Yeah. Because if it's the end of the High Republic, that's when the Sith would be coming back.
Right.
It's before they make themselves known in Phantom Menace, but it's that's when they could start to be coming back. I think that's a really, really great way for them to work in the old expanded universe version of Darth Bane, who creates the Sith rule of 2 in the old expanded universe. Before then, it's you could have tons of them.
Right. I was about to ask if it'd be a younger Darth Maul. You think?
I was gonna go the other way around, say young Sidious.
Yeah, I think there's potential for a young Sidious, which opens the door for Darth Plagueis.
Yeah.
It's a mystery thriller and shit.
Let's see how wise that fucker really was.
That's a tagline for the show. I love it.
I know we're getting I believe it's a mini series, just called Star Wars: A Droid Story. About R2 and 3PO, which I'm very excited about.
They didn't like my idea of we make an odd couple with C-3PO and R2. But
I
yeah,
wanted it to be a sitcom so bad. Just just them chilling in the base, like doing sitcom-y things.
Where's my boy BB-8 and Dio? Come on.
I
Don't
know.
disrespect
What
those
is
guys.
this Dio disrespect?
Exactly.
As
Or a
Dio would say,
BD.
sad.
Exactly.
BD1 Master Race.
BD1. Come on.
BD1, yeah. Where's BD1 the best droid?
Exactly.
Fuckers?
Because he's R2-D2's personality, but on your shoulder.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
and
that's
he looks
it.
kind of like a puppy. There's what's not to love.
Yeah.
And then, of course, we got Star Wars Visions, the anime side storytelling piece.
Yeah, super. I mean, it's like I'm always down for more animated Star Wars stuff.
Mhm.
So I'm super down with that. Speaking of animated Star Wars, we got another look at Bad Batch. And damn, is that show gorgeous?
How the transition from Clone Wars to Bad Batch logo was so cool, like burned away.
Yes, I agree. This is basically just Clone Wars Season 8. And I'm here for it because Season 7.
It's a sequel to Clone Wars. But it's cool. It takes place after Order 66, which is awesome.
Right.
Yeah. I also wanted to shout that out too because there's just one shot where we see Fennec from The Mandalorian in the show as well.
Oh, I must.
Yeah, go back and look at it. You can see her standing there. It like zooms in on her helmet. I was like, oh shit. So that's really cool. It's pre Cyber Stomach, of course.
Right. Do you think we get maybe like Rex in the show?
I assume so.
Rex and like maybe Cody. See some of
Cody,
those familiar faces.
Speaking of Cody, I'm glad you brought that up. Apparently, the rumor right now is that for the Obi-Wan Kenobi show, Vader's going to be the main antagonist, but there's going to be sort of like a subplot mini boss where Cody is going to be the other antagonist, and apparently Cody is leading a squad of clones that are out specifically to find Obi-Wan Kenobi.
To apologize or hunt them down?
Hunt him down, kill him.
Is it a thing where like
nice try, Josh? Nice
is
try,
it a thing
Josh.
where like because they still haven't finished their Order 66, they're like still bent on?
Well, I think it's because Vader specifically knows that Obi-Wan's alive.
I was gonna say that too, or is it like Vader's like you guys are responsible for finding him?
I think it's because Obi-Wan knows he's alive. Because in the Vader comics specifically, that's a huge part of like the plot line starting out is that Vader's trying to find where Obi-Wan is. He's looking for Obi-Wan specifically to kill him.
I need to read those. I have them on my Kindle.
Extremely.
So he takes the 501st,
like Cody and the 501st, and sends them out.
Yeah, exactly. That'd be awesome.
So fuck me. Yes, that's so exciting.
Right.
Something else I'm very excited for is Andor, the show that no one asked for, but I'm also still excited about it anyway because I love Diego Luna. And we got a small trailer for that. I think it's gonna be cool, specifically just because it's it's Cassian Andor from Rogue One, pre Rogue One, obviously. And,
Why? What happens in Rogue One, Chris?
Stuff. Some stuff. He might have got blown up or something.
As someone who isn't the biggest fan of Rogue One, I'd be more into Andor if they had K2SO, but Alan Tudyk was lacking. He wasn't announced. He was not in that announcement.
He wasn't in the trailer, but he is in the show. They've already said he is.
I don't know who I've seen.
Oh, okay.
They said in the past that Alan Tudyk and K2SO were in it.
Interesting.
I forgot who I've seen pitch this, but I've seen other people say that they want a K2SO show starring Jim Parsons.
Oh my god!
Like, bring back the Sheldon kind of personality.
Jesus
That'd
Christ!
Be perfect.
But I like that though too, because I mean they start out that trailer specifically with Cassian's line of, "Is like everything I've done for the rebellion," and like the first time that you see Cassian in Rogue One is like he did some shady shit. Like he's not the nicest guy in the world, and it's another. Right. I think we're gonna, because he was essentially like a Black Ops like operative. You know what I mean? Like he was a saboteur. He did some real shady shit for the rebellion, and I think we're going to see kind of that darker side of what the lengths that the rebellion is willing to go to, and sort of like the nastier things that they had to do to survive, and so I just like that aspect of it. I like Diego Luna a lot. I think that show's going to be really cool. Is that everything? I feel like there's one more.
Lando. As the other Solo fan here, ride or die. So, Lando.
That's kind of what I was going to ask is, and I'm not saying any of these shows I'm pre-expecting to be bad, nor do I want them to be bad. But do you think Disney's maybe doing too much? Like, are any of these really necessary? Do we need a
I-
series
But
for
it's
every
my
side character?
understanding that I mean, it's like Andor's only going to go so far because Rogue One already happened, and then I believe Lando is a mini series.
right.
Series, I'm fine with that because that's what you know.
Yeah,
just again,
event
transition
series
us
is
to
what
the
they
next
call
thing
it.
is a lot of the MCU stuff that we're going to be talking about in a little bit are all miniseries.
I believe a lot of these are as well outside of because I mean it's we don't I don't think we know how long Ahsoka is going to be. I believe Obi-Wan is already confirmed to essentially be one season.
Yeah, a limited series.
Lando's a mini series.
Mhm.
Yeah, these are all really short, and also it's a really slow rollout, is my understanding too. Like these aren't all coming out next year. Like it's going to be
Right.
it's going to
Over
be
the
drip
next,
fed,
like,
especially
4 or
since we're
5.
already getting Mandalorian next year too, and that's the one they're going to lean on
They
the
said
most.
Christmas next year, so it's actually coming later.
For Lando. Yeah.
But as far as Lando goes, I don't think they've announced whether it's
Donald
Donald Glover yet or not. And if it's not Donald Glover, I'm not going to watch it.
Exactly. I
Same.
want Disney to just walk up and say, "What's the amount? Right? What do we have to pay you to
They've
get back
made it
into
enough.
this?"
They've
Because
made
he was fantastic. He was fantastic in Solo.
yes.
1,000%. I agree with that.
Or what if it's
But,
just
think-
Billy D?
Yeah, you don't think it'll be Billy D. Williams at all? There's not even a slim chance.
It'd be really cool if it was both of them, honestly.
Oh,
If it was like
yeah,
Billy
I
D.
agree
kind
with
of
that.
looking back,
Mhm.
that'd be
if he was almost like the
dope.
I want narration in it, but like if he was almost like the narrator kind
It
of
would be
role.
really cool if he did narrate it though. Like they're all
Mhm.
stories that he's telling. That'd be sick.
That or
How I Met Your Mother, but like with Lando.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Well,
Just
that's
telling his
Well,
old
kids, in the
stories.
year 13 before the Battle of Yavin.
That's fucking
That's what I
great.
was about to bring up. Is he like creepily hits on that girl at the end of Rise of
Oh, boy.
Skywalker, and he's like, "Let's find out where you're from," right? So like that
Jana.
could be it.
If you're related to me, that's great. And if
Unfortunately,
you're not, oh, you're about to be.
I think they've already confirmed that she's his daughter.
Yeah, they confirmed in like the encyclopedia or something.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, how I Met Your
Black
Mother.
people in Star Wars have to be related. So.
Mhm.
But either way, I'm really excited about that. There were a lot of rumors for a while that Solo might get continued as a Disney Plus series, and I think this is a way to get I can't remember his name that plays Han.
Alden
Yeah.
like
I was gonna say, yeah, if he
I think
shows up in
we
this,
could at least get we could probably get an appearance from Alden
yeah.
in Chewie in the show. That'd be a really really easy way to do it. Although I still have my fingers crossed that we will see Solo on Disney Plus at some point. Just like I think it's the perfect Solo is the perfect concept
Right.
for a serial show.
Mhm.
you mean as a
Especially
show?
with Darth
'Cause
Maul,
I was gonna be like, wait, is Solo not on Disney Plus?
As a show, I'm
Mhm.
sorry, yeah.
Yeah.
And then this just getting into rumor territory. This wasn't at the investors thing, but there've been talks for a very very long time about Boba Fett getting his own show, and then everyone was like, "What the hell?" They didn't. It's like, why wasn't it at this investor show? And apparently that is still happening, just not anytime
Interesting.
soon. So
They already
Mm,
dumped a whole lot here to the
Yeah.
point where like
Yeah,
as you're
point where it's my understanding they're still sitting on more Star Wars stuff that they just haven't
Right.
announced.
I'm
Yeah.
sure.
oh, I'm sure.
yeah,
I'm sure
and
they have
that's
10 years
like going
planned.
back to your point earlier. We're so TV focused. It felt like on here versus like we only got like a little visual, like a redesign of the Star Wars logo for Taika Waititi's project, and then nothing even mentioned about Ryan Johnson's
Mhm.
trilogy. I hope it's still happening. I hope it's still,
It's he keeps saying that it's still happening.
and I hope so.
I think it's
I hope-
it's my understanding he's waiting until after Knives Out to really dive into his Star Wars
Oh,
trilogy.
I forgot we're doing
Two knives, two out.
Two Knives, Two Out. And there's a lot of talk that his might be like within the High Republic too.
that'd be awesome because like as much as I love The Last Jedi, give him his own stuff outside of
Yeah, just
canon,
remember
just
remember
yeah,
that.
and let him
whatever
have
with.
total creative freedom to do whatever he wants within overarching trilogy of movies. I think that would be
Yeah.
amazing.
Just completely remove it from the saga films, and I think he'll nail it. I think he'll crush
yeah.
it.
Right.
But yeah, there was a lot of Star Wars that came out. All of it approximately 10 minutes before I had to go on stream and talk about and watch the Game Awards. And so I was sitting there just losing my shit throughout that entire Game Awards show.
Yeah.
But yeah, lots of really really great stuff. I mean, I'm gonna watch all of it. It all sounds great. It's wild that we only got one movie out of that whole thing, though.
Yeah.
Let's
Um,
fly through Disney because I don't
Yeah.
think there was a ton that I
No.
was like
No.
mind over. You know.
Yeah, so we got Raya and the Last Dragon premieres March 5th.
Very
cool.
excited about that movie.
Baymax is getting his own series early 2022.
I still have to see Big Hero 6. I know it's right down my alley.
It's so good.
It's
Right.
very
so
good.
good.
It's
It's on
very
Disney
good.
Plus.
I was like, "Where's Betamax from?" Like, name sounds familiar.
Betamax. Oh my
Betamax.
god.
I've yet to see Big
Baymax.
Hero 6.
It's
so
very good. It's a Disney superhero movie. What's not to like?
The
And
scene where
Stan
they
Lee's in it.
all, yeah,
Oh.
the
Stan
scene
Lee
where
is
they,
in it. In fact, yeah.
where they all like really get into their powers and like have that cool team up moment, like when they're learning, is so full. It's so much fun.
It's also really funny.
It is,
Like-
yeah.
The humor lands. It's very good. Highly recommend.
Tiana, based on Princess and the Frog, is premiering Disney Plus 2023.
That's a series, right?
For this one, because
Yes.
I know we were talking before we started recording about like the Disney shows that were based off the movies. In like the early
Get more of it.
2000s, and how they were like okay, but I don't know, I was gonna say I think they're better now because one of my friends regularly watches and loves the Tangled series.
Tangled series is really good. My
Yeah.
sister loves it. I mean, they're killing it right now. DuckTales is great. The new Mickey Mouse cartoons are fantastic. Like I can't
Yeah,
recommend all of
so
it enough.
for Tangled to
Disney's
get
killing the animated side.
for Tangled to get its spin-off, I think is really good because I think it also addresses this. So one issue that people had with it of like how come in every animation where you want to have a African American or black character, they always turn into a different thing. You know, you're seeing that come up with Soul a little bit. You saw it come up with Princess of the Frog. So now if it's like she's in human form, we get to see an actual black Disney princess represented on screen.
Plus, I think they've also timed it to where they're redoing Splash Mountain at the parks, and
To
it's
match
getting,
up, yeah.
it's getting a Princess and the Frog theme now, and so it's really cool to. I think it's a great idea to kind of put that in the public's eye again as they tie that in together. So I'm down with it. I'm down with it. I wouldn't be shocked if there's elements from the show that end up on the ride as well.
Yeah.
Right.
A long-form musical comedy series for Moana hitting Disney Plus in 2023.
I'm very excited about that.
I haven't
Love
seen
it.
Moana yet.
I love Moana.
Let's see. Next says Enchanto, a new movie set in Colombia with music written by Lin-Manuel Miranda, is in development.
Lin-Manuel's just getting all the Disney contracts, man.
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly.
Oh,
Dude's getting
Had
the bag,
Hamilton
but I mean,
premiere. He wrote music for Moana. He's writing music for this. I mean,
fun
In the
fact, he also wrote
Heights.
the Cantina song for Force Awakens. That's actually him singing Huddies in that scene.
really?
That's awesome.
really? That's awesome. Yeah.
But I mean, it's like, yeah, he's getting all the Disney stuff, but also he puts out quality work every time.
He does.
Oh, yeah.
No, he does.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Mhm.
And what was it? I'm gonna
He don't
butcher this. Iwaju, IWAJU, an original long-form series made in partnership with Coagli Media, is premiering on Disney Plus in 2022.
Interesting.
Interesting.
Down with it.
Then we got Pixar Disney Plus series. Spark Shorts episode Burrow arrives on Disney Plus on Christmas.
So Spark Shorts is already out.
Yeah.
That's a continuing shorts thing that they do, and if you haven't watched any of the other Spark Shorts, do it. They're all incredible.
Okay.
Every one of them are amazing.
We got Pixar Popcorn shorts featuring iconic Pixar characters starting in January.
That'll be fun.
Doug Days.
Pixar shorts. Sorry to interrupt. Are the Pixar
Yeah, no.
shorts on Disney Plus? Like the one with the birds and all this? They are.
Everything they've done is on Disney Plus. Yeah.
Like what was it? How or whatever. Though I think that's Incredibles 2.
Yeah, with
short?
the I don't want to say, is it dumpling or was it a pork bun? I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, the one that was like made you cry right before Incredibles 2.
I don't want to sound like a dick. I didn't cry. I was just so confused. I was like, is this a metaphor or did the food really come to life? Like I was thrown off.
Bao is the name of it because it's a bao bun.
Bao bun. Okay.
Let's see. Doug Days, a new series featuring beloved dog Doug from Up, premiering in fall 2021.
Oh,
Hell
so
yeah.
not Doug. As
Oh,
in
Doug Days. Yeah. Right, yeah.
Okay.
That's disappointing because that's a Disney
It should
show.
be.
Yeah.
Nick Doug versus Disney Doug.
Damn.
Cars.
it is-
It
It was both. It was both.
The first few seasons were
I
Nick,
thought it
then it went to Disney, and that's why there's a
Yes.
huge debate.
Yes. I remember
Uh,
on Nickelodeon more than I do
Okay.
Disney. But,
Okay.
let's see. Next, we got a Cars series following Lightning McQueen and Mater coming to Disney Plus in fall 2022.
Literally could not care less about that.
But
Yeah.
yes,
Ka-chow.
Ciao. Win or Lose, Pixar's first original long-form animated series, is about a middle school softball team coming to Disney Plus in fall 2023.
Interesting.
And then here's the movies from Pixar. Say Luca, a movie set in Italy about a boy named Luca, will hit theaters in June of 2021.
That movie's gonna slap.
Lightyear, an origin story for Buzz Lightyear,
Now this
voiced by
one,
Chris Evans,
Chris
is
Evans.
hitting theaters in 2022.
That's gonna slap.
it's gonna slap. So what's interesting is that he's still supposed to be like a human
Yeah,
that like the toy is based off of. I originally thought when people were like, "Oh, it's about the real one," I thought it was like, "Oh, it's gonna be whatever source material the toy comes from." So like,
Right.
I thought in the Toy Story universe, Buzz Lightyear was based
Mhm.
off like a show or a movie, and this is that movie.
Yeah.
No, apparently he was like an actual human being. Am I understanding that correctly?
that sounds.
No, you had it. You had it right. To where it's like this is the source material that the toy is based off of.
Mhm.
Got it. Okay.
Okay.
I love that.
It's like the Star Command show, but it's a
Right.
movie. Yeah,
Right.
I love that
Hopefully,
show.
hopefully we get some Star Command aspects in there.
that'd be rad.
Yeah.
See the big
I
red
love
guy.
I love the meme of like the guy explaining into a girl's ear, like, yeah, it's not about the toy, it's about what the toy's based off of.
Like they're at
Yeah.
the club and she's just sitting there like,
Yeah,
So it's not the one from Toy Story; it's the real one. You know?
oh man, I love
Alright.
that.
Then last one, we got Turning Red, about a 13-year-old girl going through puberty that transforms into a giant red panda when she
So
really
Big
gets
Mouth.
excited. Is in
Yeah, I
development.
was gonna say it's kid friendly, Big Mouth.
Discount Clifford the dog. is what I hear.
It's like Big Mouth and Brother Bear had a
Oh
marriage.
no.
Yeah, that's it.
Shout out to the Clifford movie that is coming out though.
Oh god!
Right?
You know what does look good?
I'm
Is the Tom and
really
Jerry
excited
movie.
that I got to share my opinions on Star Wars.
Right?
Did you hear that?
I heard none of that.
He's really excited that he got to share his opinions on Star Wars.
I'm really glad you got to too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
What do you think?
yeah,
Tell
love
me,
it. It's my favorite
give
thing.
me your log line on all the new Star Wars announcements, Austin.
Yeah. What are you excited for the most?
Those are two completely different questions. The log line is, hey, there's the dark side, but there's a timeline. We're going back and forward. Is that about it? Is that everything?
You know,
I
And-
expected the light side, but whatever.
And honestly, the only Star Wars character that has literally ever intrigued me is Darth Maul. So if Darth Maul is in a show or a movie, then I might actually watch it.
See, I would say the log line is, "Hey, one of these has to be good." Statistically,
Yeah.
some of them will be good.
Exactly.
my heart.
Listen, Chris, I hope they're all good, but
I really do too.
All right.
I
Right.
really do too. I have faith.
All these Pixar movies, they sound good, but they're nothing compared to like DreamWorks movies. Like, let's be honest.
Can we kick him
what
out?
I'm excited for is Lightyear. Oh, and one I forgot to mention is they're making a like Chip and Dale remake starring John Mulaney and Andy Samberg. That I'm hyped for.
That's
I don't
gonna
even-
That
slap.
sounds awesome.
Yeah, I don't even watch Chip and Dale. I've never watched Chip and Dale all that much.
Is that real or are you just making shit up?
No, I swear to God, that's
That
a real
is
thing
real.
they announced.
What?
That's-
What?
Yes,
That's real.
With
That's
John
real.
Mulaney and Andy Samberg?
Yes, playing Chip and Dale.
That's fucking incredible.
I hope they have like some hand in the writing process too. 'cause
Oh,
those are
God,
some
I hope so.
funny dudes.
That's awesome.
I'll just improv the whole thing. What are you talking about?
Man, forget Star Wars. That sounds incredible.
Wow,
Right?
fake fan right here.
Get this out of here. I'm
Yeah.
done with it. Just get it out.
Right.
It's
Just
very
pulls out a Chip and Dale like replica that he has.
It's
Ready
very
to go.
It was very expensive. I'm not gonna throw it.
Yeah,
Put it
I like
on.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
like you throw that beat or Bush League hat.
I did that. Yeah. Sorry. Sorry.
Yeah. You hate to see it. You hate to
All
see it.
right.
Is that about everything? Have we touched
that
on
is
it
about
all?
Yeah, if
everything.
we didn't
Is the
mention it
recording
before.
long enough?
Yeah, I'd say if we didn't mention it before, I just want to say that the Marvel stuff will be in another Waypoint podcast episode, so that way we can talk about that and
Absolutely.
the Spider-Verse stuff.
All the
Breathe.
shenanigans.
I'm
going
ready to
on in
fight
this
all of
episode.
you on why that's a good
I-
idea.
Mm. Who
Listen,
knows?
if Josh gets to mention Knack 3 every episode, I think I'm allowed to argue that live action
I'll allow
Spider Verse is a good idea.
I'm not saying it's like a bad
It's
idea. I
fair.
just don't want to see Tobey Maguire back again.
You tell me you haven't missed the crying raisin that is Tobey Maguire.
No.
Mm.
In
Not
fact,
really.
yeah.
No.
End it now.
On that note,
End it on that.
On that note, thank you for watching this incredible or listening to this incredibly long episode of the Waypoint podcast. Al Bob, where can we find you at?
Find me over on Twitter and Twitch at albob875.
Cool beans. Jordan?
you can find me on Twitter at Jordan_Deeb and on Twitch at twitch.tv/orphangamers. I said I was going to stream last week, then life happened, but hopefully this week is the week I get to start again.
This is the one, ladies and gentlemen. This is the one. If he doesn't stream, harass him on Twitter. Christopher?
You can find me on Twitter at RumblePack92, also on twitch.tv/RumblePack92, and here on Waypoint. I'm the host of This is the Waypoint, new episode coming extremely soon. Now available on all podcast services, wherever you already listen to other things.
Look for the purple
Right.
Waypoint pin.
Exactly. Austin? Where can we find you, my man?
You can find me here at Waypoint. I'm the so-called host. I host random things here and there, just when people don't want to, and I really don't want to either, but I step up. You can find me on YouTube at Not So Orthodox, and you can find me on Twitter at Austin Ernie, AUSTIONERNIE.
Cool beans. And you can find me at Some Other Josh on Twitter, Instagram, all the fun platforms. And again, TikTok too. Yeah, I'm about to become TikTok famous for 2021. That's one of my New Year's resolutions. So yeah, thank you again for listening, and stay tuned for future content from us.
Bye.
Bye.